And we are back. It's been a while,
And
but
we are
we
back.
made it. We actually made it.
We made it. We actually
I'm gonna
made it.
hear myself echo.
I'm gonna hear myself
So you know what? We live,
echo.
and let's go ahead
So
and get it going. Let's roll.
and let's go ahead and get it going.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Live. How with Tanya Dixon? That's me. I hadn't said that in so long. I had to check and see, was that the name of the show? I almost went back in time for a moment and said Sounds of Soul. My hair thinking up. It said Sounds of Soul. That's my Texas days. So I almost went somewhere else. But glad that I came back together with that. But I'm here. Glad to be here. Glad to be doing the show tonight. We got a lot that we're going to be talking about. You know us. We are a spirited group. We will talk for a long time. So I will appreciate you all. You come in, comments, and just roll with us and all that. Just have fun with us because tonight is my birthday show. My birthday is on Sunday, October 2nd. And so I said, who spiked the tea on my birthday? What that means is we're going to do a lot on Who Spiked the Tea tonight, which is the hot topics and, kind of catch up on what's been happening out there in the world, not just entertainment, just everything. And then the living room, I think we're going to kind of grab some topics from wherever, because we've done a lot of stuff and we just haven't had the time to talk lately. So it's going to be interesting. But you know how we do? We're going to take that break for just a few moments and we'll be back. I'll bring the team in and we'll get it cracking. All right. Y'all hold on.
Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Candyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Everything was starting all over again. I don't know what y'all were getting out there, but I was like, damn. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the team in. You know me, my spectrum thing over here. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen over here tonight. Y'all come on in. Okay.
Hello.
What's happening? See somebody else.
Hey, I know.
Yeah. Pop, what's going on with you, man? What's going on, people in the diaspora? What's popping? Power to the people, always.
In the house.
Right. Hello. Glad to have
you. All right. Got mine right. Yeah.
Happy birthday, my sweet.
Yeah, I think Rock just dropped off. I'm expecting her to come back in. But got Mr. Mine right here and got Margogo here as well. So we're doing it.
You 25 all over again.
I'm like looking, I'm hearing something else going on. I'm hearing some other. Okay. All right, so maybe it's just me. It's just me over here. I switched carriers,
in the house.
Bernard,
What's
and
up?
because when I moved, and I
Hi, Bernard.
What's up, Pinky? What's up, Pinky, baby?
Of course, darling. Of course.
Look, I'm trying to move my hair too.
Yeah.
Of course, darling. Miss Fabulous is in the house.
Yeah.
I can do it like this though.
all right now. Oh, so y'all were in the chat earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
I just now seen the chat. I'm late to the game here. I missed the whole dang thing. Well, I'm gonna see how long. Y'all let me know when I start freezing and I have to jump over to just using my cell phone. So let me know when the craziness starts. But of course, y'all welcome tonight. Glad to have y'all here. You know how we do. I like to check in with everybody, see what's been going on. I know Bernard, haven't seen you in a while, so I'm gonna start off with you tonight. It's just what's been happening with you. How you doing?
Everything is everything. Complete circles in my life. My baby boy doing the sophomore year, being a DJ and trying to raise a man child into a man. So it's interesting to say the least. Of course, me, I'm still trading, still like adopting people all over the diaspora. As I Uber, as I YouTube, as I Zoom, as I Instagram, as I Facebook, TikTok.
Yes, you do a lot.
That's a job by itself, and I'm still promoting my book on how to eat a pink elephant to just help guide young people in the right direction. That's why I end up adopting a lot of people. So my family is humongous. It started off with like my 2 boys. Now it's the whole wide world.
I know that's right.
Okay.
That's good. I'm really glad to hear that she's still moving on things, and especially with the book and all too. I'm really glad that everything is still going, with you. So congratulations on that, definitely. Yeah. All right, Ron, what's happening to you right now, Ron?
Thanks.
I should give you a clap. What's going on with you, Ron? Miss Unique,
hey,
what is happening?
Everybody. What's going on? What's going on?
Hey.
Oh God, a whole lot has happened.
I can see a whole lot of smiles, though.
Yes, it is a lot of smiles.
That's always good.
Y'all can see some things have changed.
Yes, I'm
down to 60 now.
Oh, you done dropped 60%, girl.
So that's coming along good.
What you doing? I need to do what you do.
I got some new folks in my life. I'm good. Good.
Not that part, but the weight loss thing.
Y'all remember when I was telling y'all about me fixing up my house and stuff?
Yes.
My bathroom is complete. I have a walk-in shower now.
All right.
So my bathroom is. I told you I'm getting a little bit of it done. I can't do it all at one time, so I take small projects, make big projects. So now my next thing is gonna be my kitchen. So my next thing. So I just got a little something going on. I'm back into writing just a little bit. There's not a whole lot. I'm back into writing my little poems and doing a little poetry. I'm working on it. So for this, just little some things I'm doing.
You've been busy. You've been busy. I ain't mad at you, not at all. I ain't mad at all.
I want Bernard. Everybody else have met my son. I want Bernard to meet my son.
Okay,
Novell, come here.
Y'all know I'm over here posting, right? Y'all know that's what I'm trying to do. So when y'all see me looking down, you know that's what I'm
doing. You met everybody else. This is Bernard. Bernard, this is my son.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Bernard?
What's up, young black king? What's up, young black king?
Walaikum wassalam.
Assalamu alaikum, man. That's all right.
All right.
Nothing like that legacy, baby. Nothing like your legacy. That's my thing about, the whole pop guide thing is about leaving this world a better place for the people who are going to be coming after you. Because, we're going to do our thing, but what is going to be your mark in eternity? You know what I'm saying? How you going to be able to affect change? A lot of times we will affect change in little minute ways, but it grows. It's like plant the seed. Don't worry about germinate or watering the seed all the time. Sometimes your job is just to plant that seed in your kids' life and people's life and the world's life, and let it germinate. If it's a valid and good seed and it's in fertile ground, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. You might never see it. But it will grow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Others in your family lineage will benefit from it. They'll get to take those first fruits. But
Think of it like a oak tree. Take the oak tree a long time to get to where it need to be all beautiful, pretty looking. So
right,
you may not necessarily see that oak tree in his full capacity, but like he was saying, when you leave that lineage, everybody else can benefit or prosper, or gain from that. One.
Just think about some of the slaves or some of the people in the civil rights, and when they used to say, "You could grow up to be president of the United States," and they believe, but at that time, it would look like it would never. That is never going to happen.
Right.
And then we actually lived through that and saw that. And that was just amazing to see something like that in our lifetime. And then just imagine what your grandkids or great grandkids are going to see in their lifetime. And wouldn't it be nice to be one of those persons that remember, like, oh, I remember granddaddy Savage back up in the 2022, long time ago.
History keepers,
yeah, you one of the forefathers who got us to think about financial or thinking about eating right and living right and stuff like that. We just don't know how our greatness can be multiplied by just the words that we speak.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya, before I go, I want to say happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday to my sister Monique. And may God rest in peace. Happy birthday to my little cousin Anika.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
He jamming. Look at
it. We got a song for every occasion back in the day. We got a song for every occasion. I was telling Tanya about this, the one about the 000 soul agent.
Authentic back then, just
that's a real
different
song.
type of
Look
thing,
it up. Look it up. Google it. YouTube it. It's a real song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
Am I freezing yet, y'all?
No, you good.
Nah, you straight.
Have I been freezing?
No,
you started out free. Well, you freezing now. They just said that.
Okay, over here.
I just hear like a little echo.
I said so.
I did too. An echo. Well, all right, y'all.
Can I have echo?
It's like a delay more than an echo.
Well, it ain't me this time.
It's not me.
It is? Okay, then you know what? I need to just...
No, it was when...
I'm trying to see if I should start working from my phone. My phone is already set up. Let's just do this. Let me kill this mic over here.
I don't hear it no more.
No, it wasn't an echo. It's when somebody had spoken, and I can actually hear the person speaking again. And I think it was when Mr. Right Minded.
It was me.
It was like I heard him what he said repeated over like in a delay, like a
something like that angle.
6 or 7 minutes.
That's why I don't do this one. This is a bad angle. It's not. That's my head looks too big. A side view of my head.
You got that helicopter in the background.
I know, right?
Like you about to fly away. Oh, man, she got a helicopter. She look like Mary Poppins or somebody getting ready to take off.
Right, for sure.
That's that Jonah
Okay.
blood all up in there.
Yeah, the big head.
Baba dog. Hey, that could be your brand, and we can bring the Baba heads back.
Oh no. Oh no. No. Mom will be saying no.
I'm sorry.
I remember them Baba heads. They had the little dog on.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Okay, Margot, what's been going on?
Well, no, things have been all right. There's been some ups and downs, a lot of changes with my job. For
Okay.
the most part, I'm in the lead position now. So,
Yay.
so I pretty much have a classroom all to myself.
Oh
And then on
Lord.
top of that, I've been going between two classrooms because the other classroom been needing help, but I've been noticing the changes and the little breakthroughs and stuff like that I've been having with the kids, whether in my class and the class next door. I have gained status with my little peoples to the point to where one of them was like, "Hey, Miss such and such, I was waiting on you to come outside." And then my shift was changing, and I was like, "Well, I gotta go. I'm finna leave." "Don't go. I don't want you to go." I'm like, "Why?" Then, first time ever, started crying because they didn't want me to leave. So that almost broke my little heart. But I'm like, "Really? Is you crying? Because I gotta leave." So it was the sweetest little thing, but it reassured me as this being a calling, not just a job or a position or that kind of stuff, but it being a calling, and that's how serious I take it. So
That's great.
on top of that baby doing this, and I still have two friends from last year that run down the hall to come see me. They come see me before they start their day and before they leave.
Oh,
So
that's too
it's
cute.
just to see them light up and run with their arms up and give you a hug and talking to you before they, get their day started or they leave. So the parents are cool with it. The parents will be like, "Yeah, they miss you. They all always talk about you." So yeah,
that's good. When you have that kind of impact, that's good. Oh,
yeah. So
the little people know stuff.
that's been going this week. So that's been great.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here tonight. We've been here in a while.
Some kind of good.
Huh?
This is some kind of good.
What's that?
Oh, her tea, her half and half.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mike. You muted right now, but let us know how you been doing.
I gotta take my mute off. Shit, I've been chilling. Yeah. Straight
Say
up.
it like you mean it, dog. Say it like
Yeah. Nah, I've been chilling, man. I started the job, man, the new job. This is my third week on the new job. So, a lot of
all right, now go ahead.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty much just trying to learn the newness of the job and stuff like that. But then I got a full plate, with some other stuff, all these little classes and certificates and certifications. And school start next week for the master's program. So yeah. So I'm gonna have a full plate. Yeah, so but other than that, just really been sitting back, chilling, trying to get caught up on rest. And I realized about 2 days ago that I'm gonna have to chill out on this drinking shit. Cause boy, I was hurt. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm hurting. I ain't been drunk like that in a minute. And I think I'm gonna sit my ass down somewhere with this drink. I think I'm trying to tell you, take me 2 days to get over a hangover, man. I ain't young no more.
Yeah, that body ain't
shit, no.
It don't snap back like that.
Catch it up with Jenny, dude.
Yeah. But other than that, man, ain't just same old, just trying to, grow up a little bit,
Yeah.
Ain't we
Yeah.
all, Mike? Ain't we
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
That's cute. I like that. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Mhm.
Uh,
So what's
oh,
up with you?
you know, the funny thing is,
Hard headed.
the biggest thing that I can be proud of right this moment is that I am um, leveling, and I was thinking about this morning. I said you got to be happy because at one time you kind of lost control of your body, and the doctor said you gained 2 pounds overnight or 5 in a week. Call me, and none of that's happened. I've had not to make any calls, and I don't always feel the very best, but I don't feel like I used to.
Yeah.
So I feel like, no matter how many miles I have to travel, I'm not where I used to be. And I think I was telling some of y'all this week that I need to change the ringtone on my phone
Yeah.
because the ringtone literally reminds me of the very rough time, the very rough nights, sitting up all night. Remember, I got into the point I was sleeping every other night. And then I got to a point I was sleeping every 2 nights. And just to be able to not have any of that anymore, I feel like I have made tremendous strides with that. And I'm happy about where things can go from here. This is my favorite time of the year, not just because birthday is this weekend. Is I love the fall season,
You're right. I do.
and it just makes me happy all the time. And then last week, September 19th was last week, no, week before. Um, my brand, the Tammy brand, turned 30 years old. So I said, no celebration this year. And I think about all the years that we had all these big celebrations, and I just say, that'll happen again in the future when I get to the next project that I want to do, which I'm, still excited about some things that I have coming in very soon. So just been over quietly, still working on some things, and looking forward to turning that particular corner, but just really happy to still be here with y'all. I don't mean just on the show, I mean in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So happy
Still a
about
little
that.
hard headed, but she all right.
I'm still trying. Veronica's like, stop talking. I'll be on the phone with her, breathing hard. Stop talking. So I'm like, okay. It's just a matter of just getting myself used to that.
Yeah.
Just getting used to not trying to do too many things and take on too much. But I'll get there. I'll definitely get there. But you know what, y'all? I want to go over to spike some tea real quick, and then we're going to do some other talking about some previous topics. But let's go spike some tea, and let's see if the system, how I'm going over here, allows me to do it. So let's go. Okay, welcome back. We ready to spike the tea? And I got two different things going here. Like the main system here, they even got back yet. It's still not back live, but I'm over here. As long as I'm with y'all over here, it's all good. So let's go ahead and see about some of the stories that I have. I found some things, because we had not been doing a show. I have some previous stuff that I'm gonna go back and talk about from the past. Some things we even started talking about, but we didn't get too far. And there's a few things too that I wanted to make sure that I, kind of read the story with y'all, because a few things that I just look at it and I say, okay, let's see what happens when I get to the show. Y'all know how I do. Sometimes I find out at the same time y'all do what's going on in the story. All right. Okay, so I think when we had gotten here before, one time before, we had talked about Ludacris, the rapper actor Ludacris, his manager Shaka Zulu, and I think at that time, someone that thought that it was being reported that he was attacked and he got into some big altercation and he was in the hospital and all this other stuff. But since then, the entire story has changed. They're saying now as longtime manager of Atlanta rapper Ludacris is facing murder charges after a shooting outside of a restaurant. So that found it a little different compared to the initial report. And that's
Wow.
because a lot of people don't know that in Shaka's character. And I've met him before, and of course I don't know him like a lot of these people know him, but they were very shocked that there was something like that going on. So let me just give you all a little snippet from the news station as to what they say is going on. Channel 2, the local WSB here, is doing this report here. They spoke with the officials who confirmed that the charges stem from a June 26th shooting incident that occurred outside the Buckhead restaurant. Apartment, I'm sorry, a restaurant apartment for B. Well, they're saying the shooting left 23-year-old Ortez Bitten dead and Abafume and another person in the hospital. The police said that there appears to be an argument or an altercation that happened and the victims were shot in the parking lot of the shopping center. I'm just going to say Shaka Zulu. He surrendered to authorities on September 13 and bonded out that same day. And he's also being charged with aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and simple battery. And this is according to the jail records. And so there's a lot going on with this, and I'm kind of waiting for some things to shake out, because it shocked me too that it seemed like just an attack at first, and then it turned into murder charges. It's kind of weird. Has anybody heard about this story since we talked about it?
Nope.
Yeah, it just kind of.
I don't really follow Ludacris. I used to love him, but I don't stop following him. So.
And I think it's just because I'm here naturally, they're going to definitely talk about it. But I was really surprised that everything kind of flipped to it looking like it was just an attack at first, and then now him facing charges. And so I guess this is just one of those particular stories.
So have anybody said anything about it could have been self-defense or anything like that?
I think that's the part that everyone's still trying to figure out. The story still has to come out more. And we're looking to see what is the next, story to happen with that. So that's what I'm looking for, is that information to come out so that we can see what happened.
Go ahead.
The buddy finally made it upstairs. If you can hear him, he has to make an entrance.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
I was wondering if that was him or if there was somebody else trying to clear their throat a little bit.
Yeah. He come in here clear his throat just to say, this is my show. She started it without me. I don't agree with this mess, but I'm here.
I'm surprised he ain't talking.
I know, right? How many people have been tuned in to Sherry Shepherd's new show?
Oh.
Anybody watch it at all?
Anybody know she has for a little while.
I've seen her a little bit with her talking about it coming out soon, but I haven't caught it.
Okay. I'm interested in this story. Okay, I'm interested in this story because I want to know what's happened too. They're saying that ever since the show is debuted, she's happy, but apparently there's some behind the scenes drama with some of the Wendy Williams former staffers. Now, right off the riff, I don't know how y'all feel about this.
I'm like, how did they make it over there?
I think she just kept a lot of them, and I don't think I would have.
Yeah,
I think new show, I would have done a new team.
Yeah, like it worked while we was over there with Wendy, because y'all was doing whatever dirt y'all was doing to her, and she was doing it herself. But yeah, it should have been a different configuration.
A whole new crew.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let me get into this a little bit. They just talked about, first of all, in the articles, shout out to cinemablend.com. They were just talking about a little bit about Wendy. We know that Wendy last year, it actually started before then. Was it last year sometime? And this way, she came back in September for the show. She stayed like 2 weeks. She was gone. The show went on hiatus for a little bit. Then, they had advertisers, so the show had to come back. So they had guest hosts all the way up, and then Sherry was just wild, and I guess Deb Moore, the company that handled Wendy's show, and they decided, somewhere in there to give Sherry a show, and that Deb Moore would hang on and be producers or whatever. So maybe that's how it came to be that some of those staffers are still there. But again, I wouldn't have taken them too.
Yeah,
But
they should have had a cleansing and stuff done.
yes,
They're gonna bring
yes,
their
because
own energy. It's already starting.
and so they were saying staffers for Sherry have been in her ear saying there should be some sort of loyalty test from the Wendy Williams show holdovers. Norman and Suzanne want to believe they'll stick around, but sooner or later, I'm sure that they're going to be pushed out. There's no real place for them now. And you remember Suzanne was executive producer, and Norm used to sit out there with Wendy. And, Sherry got her own people now.
And see, they all messy like Wendy is. We forgot Wendy's messy, so they messy too. They got a smidget of messy in their system.
Right. Well, they give it a little bit of information here. They said if you're wondering why supervising producer Norman Baker and co-executive producer Suzanne Bass were simply referred to by their first names in the above comments that we made earlier, it's because the fans of the former show knew the two very well, and for much of the time, Wendy, was on the air, as you could see Baker and Bass, and they were all there during that time. And I kind of just really seriously had wondered on the sidebar what they were going to do with that. But when Sherry debuted, neither producer was seen on the series, and some of the fans have been missing them. I can't really say that I have. Maybe Norman, but Suzanne didn't really bring that much to me. She was just out there. So I can't say I
Suzanne was crazy.
Yeah, she
was crazy. She was a little on the loco side, so.
Okay.
But Norm, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought Norm would have wanted to be with anybody else but Wendy. So.
Right, but I'm still not understanding any more than this. I think they're saying in this article that it's just the whole thing with Norm and Suzanne. I can't see that being that much drama unless you make it drama. I mean, she's the guy who why is his name escaping me? Because in real life I used to talk to him all the time. The one who sits out there with Sherry now. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember his name. I'll come up with it later on. But I have had various conversations with him, and he's like a sidekick of hers. And why I can't remember his name is just absolutely crazy, and I don't see it here in the article. But hopefully, whatever problems that they're having, I hope they work them out, because I like Sherry's show. I think that she's doing a pretty good job, and I hope that she sticks around, because one thing about her, she's having fun, and she ain't sitting over there picking at people like Wendy used to do. Wendy used to go hard picking on people, and I don't see her doing anything like that. So I'm very happy with the job that she's doing right now. So, but let's go on and see about another story here. What I got. I'm not going to really get into the whole Serena Williams telling Bradley Cooper that she can come back to tennis. We all know that Serena can come back to tennis. No sense in going into that.
Anytime, really.
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop her? I mean, like.
Right. So I'm like, Serena, anytime you decide to come on back, who is stopping?
Come on back, right.
Now, I did want to throw something out there. If anybody didn't get the notice, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but Coolio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Coolio. It died. That was really sad, because he was just one of those people that you never expected to get so big, and he did. I just didn't see it when he first came out with the look and everything. I said, "Oh, okay, this cat right here," and he just blew up a spot.
He was the ugliest cat on earth.
He was a character. He was like there in the area of Flavor Flav,
right.
Yeah. With the little blade,
a little bit more calm, and it had a little bit more.
Well, you know what?
That movie that movie that they made, that was one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah,
that was one of my favorite movies.
Dixon's Paradise, or which one?
The one where he made with Michelle Pfeiffer.
He did the music and stuff.
Yeah, wasn't that Gangsta's Paradise or something like that?
Nah,
It was
No, that was a
Dangerous
song. That
Minds.
was
Song was
Dangerous Minds, I think.
Dangerous
Dangerous
Minds.
Minds. That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
The Gangsta's
Yeah,
Paradise
because
song.
yeah, that was a song. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
actually
one of my favorite movies.
I like the song. I don't even know if I saw the whole movie. I really don't recall at this moment. But his career, I have to say, and I don't want to sound funny, but it was a little shocking to me that he got out there. It was at a time where, okay, let's just be clear when I'm saying this. A lot of these rappers these days don't really care that much about how they look. And I think Bernard, you and I were talking about earlier, the young people and the hairstyles and how they're doing these unkept hairstyles, and that's the hairstyle. The unkept hair is the hairstyle.
Just
And so
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do that back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And so Coolio had that unkept look with not braids, but plaits. Remember when we call them plaits? And so he had plaits everywhere. So I didn't expect that look to take off, but it did. And he became what happened is him crossing over into the pop side. That's what even
And it
more
seemed
so.
like he kept it the same length for years and years and years and years. It
Yeah.
was that
Right.
same look and that same length.
Exactly. Well,
So,
here's the behind the scenes. They say Coolio, who was born artist Leon Ivy Jr., died in Los Angeles at the age of 59. His longtime manager, Jerez, confirmed this to TMZ. And Jerez told the outlet that the paramedics suspected cardiac arrest was the cause of death, though there's no official determination that has been made. And so they're saying that when LAFD arrived, um, he was unresponsive, and they performed resuscitation efforts and for like 45 minutes. They worked on him for 45 minutes,
wow.
Mhm.
and I guess they could not revive him. I do know when you're not breathing for that long,
Yeah.
that is hard on the brain. I think it's 4 minutes
You're
that
probably
you
brain
have
dead.
to get that oxygen flowing again before the brain can be affected. So
mm-hmm.
that's a long time, 45 minutes. Because that was the situation. Even with my father, they worked on my father for a long time, and he never regained consciousness, but he got a heartbeat for back for a little while, and maybe about 12 or so hours, before he surrendered. And but we worried during that time when the brain is without oxygen. So I just wonder, they really, really wanted to help him to work on him for that long. They
Yeah.
really, really wanted to help him. So I guess we can just say rest in peace to Coolio. We enjoyed him while he was here.
Yeah.
And so he's somewhere else singing Gangsta's Paradise, rapping
Paradise.
Gangsta's Paradise, and
Right. Oh,
doing his thing.
thanks, pops. You poured up the drink for him.
Toast to the homies.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. All right. I have to toast out with some cranberry juice.
Right.
Happy have to yo.
Right.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I really was just trying to see I don't think there was any more on that particular story that we really need to get into because most the part of the stories that I was seeing people were trying to talk about his credits and get you all to get the audience to remember him, but we remember him. So we don't have to go through all that because we remember who Coolio is. We don't have to do all that. It looks like one of my shot went away. Let me look. Uh oh. Y'all, I don't see my other shot on here. I think
Yeah, your double went out.
the
Yeah,
other
it
one
went
went
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, I don't know what's ever gonna happen over here. But as long as I got the one over here,
Yeah. You holding on in there.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting ready to plug it in a minute so I can keep that charge going. I'm gonna plug it in just in just a second. I just want to bring the original back up real quick, and then I'll go ahead and do it. Y'all just bear with me a second while I bring this other one up. Then I have another story about Diddy. Y'all want to get into this thing about Diddy?
All I know is that he had some new song out like some weeks back, and it was pretty decent. But
Really?
yeah, I thought this song was okay. It's a collab. I forgot the other artist's name, but it was a collab with somebody.
Well, I'll tell you this: what I see. He being sued, and let's talk about he's being sued by a woman claiming to be Kim Porter's niece, and we know that Kim Porter was Diddy's. I'm gonna call her his baby mama. I've seen at times he called this wife, but I don't think they ever technically hit paper. But I believe that they just had that relationship for a long time. Well,
Yeah.
according to TMZ, 52-year-old Combs is being sued by an unidentified person who claims she was wrongfully terminated by him. Okay. She's referred to as Jane Doe, and she alleges that Diddy, TriStar Sports, and other entities fired her from work when she revealed that she was pregnant. Okay. Um, yeah. Now,
Wow.
saying that, where's it? They saying Roe? Who's it? Okay. She was hired to serve as a full time nanny to Diddy's twin daughters, Delilah Starr and Jesse James. Okay. After their mother, Kim Porter, died in, November 2018. But after working for 2 years, she claimed she was hired after requesting maternity leave shortly before the time off was set to begin. Okay. I'm going to ask y'all how y'all feel about this in a few minutes because I have some thoughts running through my head, but I'm just going to ask y'all how you feel. According to her account, the rep for Bad Boy Records founder informed her she was being fired for being pregnant and unmarried, an alleged bad example for Diddy's teenage daughters. Wow. Okay, and the spokesperson representing Diddy provided a statement to the tabloid saying this lawsuit is meritless, shakedown to extort money from Mr. Combs. The statement continues to identify the former nanny as a woman named Raven, saying that there is no basis for her to remain anonymous. It also explained Diddy's side of the story, detailing how her transition out of what was always meant to be temporary role was playing out before her pregnancy. So, what do y'all think about this? Y'all think that this is a money grab, or does she have an actual case that, being terminated when she said that she's pregnant?
I think that it is discrimination. That's what it sounded like. Because it
Mhm.
makes no sense to, I mean, is she able still to perform those tasks? And Diddy's girl, how old now?
Oh.
So,
Well, yeah, I don't know the age they were when Kim died. They,
I mean, they had to have still been teens because, I mean, it
right,
was about
and
2018.
it doesn't say their
That
exact
is
age, but
long
yeah.
ago. But saying that she's a bad example for his teenage girls just because she ended up pregnant,
Yeah, that's kind of
yeah,
weird.
you're a bad example because you never married their mom. If you want to start there first,
Right. Yeah,
if you want to start, but you know your daughters are gonna look for that man that mimics or mirrors their father.
now I got some other stuff to say on this, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna try to cool it.
Well,
but
it's kind of
even
hypocritical.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, but I mean, it's Diddy. You know he's gonna do some off the wall, crazy, whatever his reasons there for. Because you wore blue shoes to work on Tuesday, you gotta go. Like I don't know. It's just,
Right.
but the girl. So the lady that was working for him, that's supposed to be Kim Porter's niece, or
Yeah, I guess she's claiming that she was a niece, and she's calling herself Jane Doe, but everybody knows her name already. So,
the
uh,
other thing is like, okay, if she's pregnant, but pregnant by whom? Too,
yeah,
because it could be the reason why he letting her go because could possibly be his or something. I don't know. I don't know if he fooled with the girl or not, but that sounds funny.
Yeah, it's
Real funny.
definitely hypocritical for me too, because of, do I want to reference the Kevin Hart and Usher video where they standing there with Diddy, and then he says, "You know, when we were laying in the bed," and Kevin looks at him like, "Man,
I know you're
did
talking about
you hear
because
what
you
you?"
used to eat your cereal and get your
Right.
Yeah, he just outed. He
I remember.
outed them.
Yeah, and Kevin like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
he like, man, he was saying to himself, he was saying some stuff out of his mouth,
Saying too
but
much,
it was,
like that's
he was like, man,
They
do you
won't
hear what
register,
you saying?
right?
He didn't say those words, but it was him saying, man, do you hear what you're saying right now? So
he don't
then he does a lot of stuff.
he said he did that with somebody else too.
Because when he was be on that Ciroc and the mother lickers,
I think it was with Jada Kiss. I think they was in an interview with Jada Kiss or something like that.
And it was like, dude, are you?
But you know, I think there's two things that causes him to be that way. One, where he gets loose with maybe alcoholic beverages, but the other thing is when you feel like you're at the top of your game and nobody can touch you, you can say kind of what you want to say. I think sometimes that's why he does that. Like, who gonna touch me?
Yeah. But yeah, he could be a part of that group. I forgot what I was watching on YouTube exactly, but it's like a barbershop talk with some stars. And one of them say sometimes what happens with a new artist, they get them and they give them a crappy deal. But what they do is they either drug them or put something in they drink, which knocks them out, and they record a video of somebody male on male messing with them while they're unconscious, and then when they write up the deal, they be like, "You need to sign this," and if he disagrees, they'd be like, "Well, let me show you this."
Some over him.
Yeah, let me show you this video. Do you want to put this video out there on you and let the world know? And then so old dude is like signing off on whatever.
I didn't think it was true though.
So I don't know. It sounded like stuff like that too.
I didn't think. I thought I heard something about that a while back. And I was
that's a very typical thing.
You know,
it's not just with him, but there's rappers now. I just saw one the last week or so. There's rappers that will come right out and tell you now that that's how they got the deal. They don't have a problem saying it like they used to.
I always thought that was a host or something. I didn't think that was real.
Yeah, I have to find one. Zach sent me one a couple of weeks ago, and I cannot remember who the guy was, but he just came right out. It said that he allowed, I think he said Birdman, if I remember correctly.
I should have known that was the first one ever going to come up. I knew it. I knew it.
Yep, I'm going to find that video, and I'm pretty sure.
That's my baby. I know that I love my son Birdman, but he got some stuff with him. Good God.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's what I have that video, but I'll find it just so that I can make sure I'm not saying the wrong one. But you know what? I'm pretty sure it's the right name.
Yeah, and that's what it was sounding like Diddy was doing with them weird stories.
That was classic. Remember, I've told y'all the saying is, and this I have to say allegedly because I can't just say it and like I know it like I was there, but allegedly he was a staple. You had to kind of go through him when you rise into another level. You're going into some levels coming into that industry that is a person that you had to deal with when you coming up to certain levels.
Yeah, because that goes into that Jaguar. Was it right?
She talked about it too. And really, when I say deal with, I mean you might be subject to, some hanky-panky type stuff. I'm just being nice about it.
What did Orlando Brown call it? Wash or whatever.
Say that again.
He said Oshkosh Guwash. He said, yeah, Diddy, you hit me with the Oshkosh Guwash or some shit.
Yeah, Orlando Brown was saying some
Yeah.
wild stuff, man. Man, baby.
And you know what? I remember when Orlando's manager wanted to put him on my show, and this was right before I was still in Vegas. I was living in Vegas at that time, and he kept wanting me to do an interview with Orlando, but this was during a time when people were not being very vocal about anything, and it was more of a dangerous time to talk because they had not started the sweep yet of pulling these people who had been doing damages to children and all kinds of stuff. All that had not started yet.
Yeah.
And so it was more of a dangerous time to talk about stuff. So I really wanted to talk to Orlando Brown, but I was a little nervous. It was when we did our Imitate Life before on the radio days. And I was a little nervous about that because I had already dealt with Jackie Jasper, the Hollywood Street King, and Jackie already was coming with a lot of information, but Orlando was going to come with some super fire. And I kind of held on from that interview. But at this point and now, I would be more comfortable, very comfortable having that interview.
He gonna say some wild stuff, but if you listen long enough, there's some truth in it. There's some truth in there.
It's definitely.
He talking a lot of code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gonna play around with you and play around with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not gonna throw it out there. He's gonna let you pick and choose and interpret it how you want to. So
that is also them being afraid of punishment. That was the key. That was the case up until a certain point.
Yeah. So he rather I ain't gonna say play crazy because he might, that stuff affects anybody, I'm sure.
Starting to go down, and I can't risk it. Not tonight. So we'll see how this all works. But anyway, anywho. But how we'll move on from that particular story there. That's pretty much it. From here, like Veronica, we talked about earlier, mentioning the Hurricane Ian, and just sending our love and shout out to the people out there who are really suffering and dealing with.
Florida got it bad.
Lost a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, I mean, you all, what kind of things have you all heard about it so far before we move on?
The last I heard that it was here in North Carolina, we just basically got a lot of rain and wind inland, but on the coast down there, boats got towed up. The pier got washed away. It was a whole lot of flooding. It didn't do as much damage it did in Florida. In South Carolina. South Carolina got hit pretty hard. But the worst of it was Florida.
Yeah,
but it's moving on out. I think it's like right now they just caught in a tropical storm.
Right.
Yeah, downgraded today. And I think with what I read real quick from a newspaper article, like 43 is the death toll, but it could be more. I'm sure.
Hold on, let me see. It's on now.
But I know the pictures from the newspaper. It definitely will get to you because a lot of houses and stuff is just, it's nothing. It's all to the ground. It's all.
And then also,
it's going up towards north, so.
I'm really glad to, that didn't have to deal with those effects, but I still feel incredibly bad for the people who did, Georgia, I think we're going to get, all from around that whole thing. They were unsure earlier this week. They were very unsure, but I'm really glad that has happened for us, but still putting in prayers for all the other people who have had.
It's on its way towards Washington, D.C. and New York City.
Okay.
As we speak.
Wow.
It's in that direction.
Okay. Well, you know what I need to do? I need to take a shot with y'all because I got to do the
Drink
Instagram.
it. I told you I'm cutting back on alcohol. What the hell you drinking?
You ain't got to have your alcohol, baby. Just get you something to drink. See?
I just need to get a shot where y'all look at the camera and
Novell.
smile. Just look at
Oh,
the
you
camera.
talking about a picture? I thought you talking.
Yeah.
All right, shit.
Yeah.
Actual shot.
Bring another tea, please, baby.
Not at all.
I'm shooting energy drinks.
Oh, I'll be back. I get one of those.
That's great.
All right. So everybody gonna give me that smile and
Yeah.
in 3, 2, hold up. 1. Let's see. See how that turned out.
All right.
Did I freeze?
So far,
Did
so
I freeze?
good.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
You free?
Work hard.
So
He
far,
said,
so
"Did I
good.
freeze?"
Let's see if it did. I'll see in it because sometimes when I actually look at the shot, I'm like, oh my goodness, what was that? You know, because it'll come with a blur or something. But yeah, that was pretty good.
No, I could actually. I am so y'all
Bring
forgive
my
me,
little
but
friend with me.
I'm just too proud of myself. I actually can see my neck. I can
Oh.
see the weight
Yes.
loss.
That's
I'm just happy, y'all.
You
Y'all
ought
just
to.
don't
You
understand.
ought to
Y'all just don't understand.
celebrate yourself. You know. Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Veronica talk about herself so much, I don't even get a chance to celebrate. You know.
I told you.
You just, so you just be on there. You just be hearing, be like, but Veronica, but yeah, I've been doing this so well. But Veronica, but yeah, I know I'm down.
I'm like, I'll be over here. I could probably lose 800 pounds. I'll be like, you know what? I lost 800 pounds. And Veronica be like, girl, and when I went,
No, but that is very good, Veronica.
yeah, I'm glad that she did, but she be killing my ass. I'll be like, girl,
Yeah, Veronica, you
can't
do
help
you, baby. You just do you, baby. You
Yeah.
just do you. That's Pop's got your back. Pop's
I
got your
ain't mad at him.
My love like rocket. Oh yes.
I ain't mad at him, but just don't you dare try to start talking about your damn self. Okay? Don't you dare start trying to.
Well, that's
Oh man, but you know what? I'm trying to get to. I'm gonna put this on Instagram, and get folks ready for y'all, so that we can go. And then we're gonna start talking about, something, folks. I want you all to tell me what you want to talk about in regards to the subject matter, because let me put this dog under the cover. He's killing me. Get under that cover.
I'm surprised Poppy ain't started talking yet.
Yeah, because he is already. That's when he want to get my attention. So, but we're going to go to the living room in a moment, and I'm going to bring up some of the subjects that we have had and see, what it is that you all want to talk about from there, because I know sometimes, like Mike and I were talking, he said sometimes people might not have gotten out their final points that they had or anything like that. So we can still do that. So we're going to do that after the break. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be back into the living room to get that cracking in just a moment. During that time, I'm gonna try to get Instagram up. So bear with me for a moment. Veronica, and yes, Veronica, I am proud of you. That's one thing I had to say. I had to bring this up. This point, this is a very important point here. Somewhere along the lines, this whole situation, Rock, you did become very serious about this whole thing, about body and changing and everything. And I said, oh, damn. And I'm really proud that you did that. So
Thank you.
kudos, big
got a
kudos
whole
to
new
you.
vibe and energy and stuff about you. So
Yeah,
that's great.
big kudos to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. A new man will do that for you.
Okay, Tanya, you said you have to go commercial. Go commercial.
Look,
Wait. How about the flashes right here? New flash coming to you live here on Screaming Yard right now.
the commercial is stuck.
Veronica.
I don't know if I can push it. It's stuck right
who
now.
is Veronica's man?
Ah,
Is he
That's
tall? Is he black? Is he white? What is
tea.
he?
That's the tea she drinking that she won't share that information.
Uh-oh. Is it sugar tea or it is sweet and low?
It's half and half.
Oh, it's a Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
So, Rock,
It's
is
all good,
time.
everybody.
And the
It's all
crowd
good.
goes silent.
Hey, they say that extracurricular activity helps shed some pounds now. So
It is some
Hey,
exercise.
hey,
hey,
I don't think we're ready for that channel
hey.
yet. I don't think we're ready. We got to get a
I
Discord
plead the
channel to
fifth.
do
I'm
that.
gonna plead the fifth on that.
okay.
That's some good exercise.
I
Yeah,
know
I
that's
plead the
right.
fifth.
the feel. Okay.
Well, you're never too old to, test the waters. You know what I mean?
You gotta stretch. You
Yeah.
gotta stretch those
Get
areas.
your legs going.
Something
It's
limbo.
good for your spine.
It's only one thing make a woman smile like that.
It's all that,
Oh my God.
all them toxins out your
You said you
skin,
was trying to
when you
Hey,
sweat
talk
real
about
good,
look, hey.
Look at her. She
Okay,
just
just tell
cheesy.
you
She just
you want me
defending
to
like
talk
a
about
Cheshire
myself,
cat.
so I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm
So we're
trying not
gonna
to
go
do
to
that.
break so that
Tanya,
Veronica can
Have you
catch
ever
her
seen a
breath.
black woman blush?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah, she blushing a little bit.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna let Veronica face rest and we go to break. I'll see y'all on the other side.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. I was trying to get this in here real quick, this Facebook thing in here real quick. And I just about got it. I think I just about got it. Hold up. Let's see. Let me add Pops in there. Pops guy. Let me put you in there too, Bernard. I think I got everybody here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot this out and put it on Facebook. No, and here we go. Okay, I had to just do it to make sure it's done because otherwise I'll keep going on and on. But as I mentioned, everyone before, of course, welcome to the living room. And here on this living room forum, what we like to do is take some type of a subject and discuss it. And we have had many discussions, some very lively and some even heated and some funny and all kinds of things over the last year, almost a year and a half of doing the show. So here, this is my birthday show. I really kind of want to know some things that you all want to talk about, maybe a favorite show or a favorite subject or something that we have done and you want to get back at it. I'm pretty open to where y'all want to go. I just need y'all to wake up and spruce up. Because y'all like real laid back, especially the guys. The guys are super laid back tonight, so they're probably tired.
Yeah, they ain't.
So, what y'all thinking? What you thinking on the subject? What was a favorite for you all, or something that even just sticks out in your mind? See, fortunate for me, I have the list.
What time you pick it? You pick the subject.
You know what? Let me just look at my thing because that's one thing I have access to is all of the uh, shows and all the layouts that we have for each
You
one of them.
know,
So I'll take a peek real quick and see
yeah.
which one. I know we didn't get far on the one from about 3 weeks ago, so I can't put that in. But there are some others. Hold on one second.
You know, I was thinking about, just go backdated to 2020. What lessons have we learned since, the pandemic to right now? In reflection of
Mm,
that, we all went through that, and we all had our own unique experiences with the
Yeah.
pandemic, and it has shaped our lives like nothing else has shaped. I think since I've been alive, to the gravity where this was not just a United States, or your state, or your country, or your city, but this was a worldwide event, and
mhm.
to see how it has shaped the economy, how it has shaped the internet, how it shaped corporate America, and
Right,
how it affects you directly. Some of us did good during the pandemic, and some of us didn't do so well during the pandemic.
right.
Some of us received assistance, like my business. We received PPP loans, and also on top of that, you got the other monies that you got for the pandemic, and then other people, you had a lot of stuff where people were faking it and they were getting money that
Mhm.
they didn't supposed to get. So it was
Mm-hmm.
Right,
so much going on, and I hate to see that whole year. We need to kind of reflect on that and kind of like, what can we kind of take from that and learn from that? Because
right.
it was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of lessons to be learned from the pandemic. And one thing is really never to take life for granted.
No, exactly.
You know,
Right. I think too. We could talk about the lessons, but we can also talk about the changes in people. Like Bernard, you and I were talking about that earlier. I think when everybody was like really scared,
Mhm.
people were like nice and bonding with folks more. They were very talkative and a little bit more on the loving side, and that might have been something that came from fear. But
Right.
now people have gone to the other side, the opposite side, where I'm seeing more anger, more all kinds of things. And I was saying earlier to you, Bernard, it might be a form of PTSD of some type, where folks were afraid at one time, and now they're just like tripping hard, impatient, angry. I'm just seeing different things
Nah,
from people
people
who's kind of
forgot how to
weird.
be social, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
forgot how to be social when you know what I'm saying, and I think we said this the other day, but you know, you in the house, things are limited, ain't nobody going nowhere. It's probably not the same thing because you got a little bit more freedom, but it's almost being like in jail or prison because you on lockdown, you limited to what you can do, you ain't
Hmm.
socializing with the normal folks that out in society. Just simple stuff like now you see everything. You see a incident at every fast food just about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The laws still doing law shit. They still, what I'm saying, hurting people, violating people and stuff like that. And like I said, I did a cop in the military for like 11 years. So I've been on both sides of the,
Hmm.
of the fence. So when I speak a certain way, I once was a cop. So I know I advocate on certain things and then, I disagree with the other half. But what I'm saying is that people out of practice. Let's just put it like that. They out of practice with being sociable. And like you
Hmm.
said, you living in your own little bubble, and you go out there, and somebody in your bubble, in your space, ain't treating you like you think they should, and then you irritated. Your patience is grown thin, and everything else. And next thing you know, you find off on somebody or snapping on somebody, or
Mm-hmm.
somebody
Hmm.
find off and snapping on you. So you
Right.
know people gotta get readjusted to to society. If they choose to do so. Some people like where they at and don't plan on changing. So
Yeah, we've had a more, the murder rate has gone up so much, and
Lord, yes.
and people
Mm-hmm.
just tripping hard.
Yeah.
So it
Well, you
makes
know,
you like, if you get angry with somebody, just go about your business because you don't know what
Mm-hmm.
might happen.
And
You
I
try
think
to anyway.
too, I think
Watch
too
your back,
that
but try to walk away, you know.
to spend time getting out of your own head, like,
right.
Hmm.
not so focused on yourself, and then try to understand the whole story, everything around you, because you can take that bit of information, and if you're trying to process it in your head and you coming up with this whole scenario, and that's not even what's going on. It's like you didn't catch the other stuff. If you just would have
Right.
took the time and not spent time getting ready to automatically react, but just
Hmm.
spend time to really see and to hear everything that's going on before you already ready to jump off and to react. You're already
Mm-hmm.
ready to respond just right away. It's just like like hold up,
Hmm.
you know,
It's
gotta
always
teach
a
them
story to
how to
both
hold
sides,
up,
yeah.
calm down, take a
Mm-hmm.
breather, then come back at it and address it, or something like that. But everybody's like so ready to respond right off the top that you're not hearing everything.
Yeah, the thing about people not wanting to listen, I think that's the major thing. I think we find out, just because you hear me and you hear the words I'm saying, that don't mean that you understand the word I'm saying. Have you ever
That
took the
part.
time? A lot of times, I think when you're having a conversation or talking to people, instead of like just reacting real quick, ask them a question like, "Well, why did you say that?" Or dig a little deeper. I know we go high tech, but we need to go kind of like a little high touch too at the same time. That we need to
Right.
read and learn how to really connect with people. I think
Mm-hmm.
when we find out when we really reach out to people, people reach out to us. They'll act in kind. But if we're in our space and we're defending our little territory over here, the land of
Hmm.
pops, and you got the land of Tandyland over there, and we're in the defense mode, and we're attacking that like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not just when people attack you or respond to you. I think it's the intent. They're not like just trying to defend themselves now. They're trying to destroy you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well, let
saying?
me ask you all a question. And this is something that came to my mind a little while ago, that the reason why people have a reaction also is because of the uncertainty. Um, we're seeing things in crisis and they don't understand the crisis. There's things that, I'm going to say, conversations that I've had one on one with various ones of you all about the changes of the world, and even here on the show, the changes of the world are happening right now. The ones that we were talking about, they're actually happening in real life now. We're watching the whole financial picture change right before our eyes. People are unsure right now. They looked at the gas situation across the world. They're looking at currencies are plunging across the world. Economies are plunging across the world. And that, what people don't understand is this part, and I'm going to say this, and I don't know how many people are going to get it, but that was a plan. But it was not a plan by the good guys. It was a plan by the bad guys, because they want to plunge the world, bring in their new digital dollar to the central banks, and do what they call the Great Reset. What happened though is that you got the good guys, let them do it to a certain point because there's a new financial system running parallel. And what you're seeing, and maybe not recognizing, but I'll tell you what it is, with these currencies plunging, they're having to go gold back, asset back. And the countries have now said they want to do it, which is away from what the bad guys always wanted them to do on the control side. So they have lost the war. They've essentially lost the war, but we're waiting to see how long the good guys will wait before they dip in with the new asset backed currency, because that's where we are. We got the new financial system, everything, but we're going to have to hit a hard time first. So when I'm looking at people out here and I'm saying they're already feeling really bad now, how are they going to feel when they see the effects of what has happened even more with the currencies across the world. When you get to a point where you hear Europe and places like Germany, inside of Europe and the UK and all of them are plunging real hard, the dollar is not far behind.
Right.
Our value has dropped. You've watched them come down to their parallel with the dollar now, because remember, the dollar was propped up to be the biggest currency out there for many years. But now all the currencies of the entire world have to be on par. 209 nations have to be on par. There'll be no rich nation. And that's the way that the old guys wanted it. They wanted certain rich nations, certain poor nations. All that's going to be gone. But to the average consumer out there, they're confused and they're scared
Well,
about what they see.
I look at it like I was gonna kind of mention finances, not to that extent that you did, but that was a good explanation. Thank you.
Thanks.
When the thing hit in, what is it, been 2 years now, roughly. A lot of stuff shut down because people weren't shopping and going out and stuff like that. So when a lot of things shut down, a lot of people lost jobs. You know what I'm saying? But the pandemic brought about the dependency upon technology and, in the virtual world. So a lot of people ain't got no damn money. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of them videos you see when people fighting, you actually see people arguing about their change. Give me my dollar back. I want my dollar. I asked for fries, you didn't get. I want my dollar. And it's crazy because people are fighting over, what I guess in the normal thing pre-pandemic, shit they wouldn't normally even argue about. Now you got people arguing about change, dollars, $2, $3, and
Right.
we saw the inflation of food and things like that going around. So I mean, I don't know if excuse me, if it's that specifically for a lot of the people, but I know that a lot of people don't know how to deal with hard times.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
the
And
sad
so
part is that like I was saying, I don't know how far they're going to let it go, the crash, before they bring the new system. Everything is ready, but how far? And see, the sad part is they've been wanting to wake up the world, and they feel like the way to wake up the world is to let the world see the crash. They're looking at on a daily basis how many people have caught on to what's happening. And if they don't feel like there's a good percentage of people that have caught on, that's why they've been letting things kind of tumble down even more. I hope and I pray that we're to a point where they feel like enough people in the world get it, but they're still anticipating some roughness. And I just don't have the list. I really was looking for the list earlier, but I was looking at a list about a week or so ago of some of the brands of stores that they own. But the reason why they also gone is that they were elitists. And then when they said they taking those elitists out, they ain't playing. So you won't see certain stores anymore. You're going to have a limited number of Macy's, if Macy's at all, Kohl's, even let's see, we talked about Bed Bath and Beyond a long time ago that they're going to be gone. Bath and Body Works, brands like Hermes, Chanel. I mean, all these, it's going to be like a lot of brands for the elite are going to be gone because they were people involved in the darkness, the darkness that was going on. And they have not been playing about taking away that darkness and bringing about a better world. And that's why I told people a while ago, and I'm just going to make this quick comment. I'm going to leave it alone. I said Hollywood was on a sweep, and I've been saying that for a whole year. And a lot of these people are not there anymore. They're keeping their image alive with old videos, body doubles, people in masks. Yeah. It's been a sweep. It's been a sweep on politicians. They were not playing. They got these people up out of here who were doing all this bad stuff on the ground. And I just believe now, I'm happy that we got to a point where the plans of the dark ones and all their central banks, all them is going to be gone. Because you know what they were doing? That was going to be to remember one time they were going to chip us? Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that was their world order thing. I won't get into that. But they were going to do that to us. But I guess this was like, their saying was, you're not going to own anything. That's what it was. They said, you're not going to own anything and you're going to be happy. That was their plan for us. You would not own a damn thing. And if you got out of line, they would snip off your money. That was the
Yeah, I
plan.
remember hearing about all of that. Yeah,
Yep.
it's easy.
That was the plan.
You're going to all these places and all they we don't accept cash anymore. We want you to use your card.
Mhm.
So the easy access to just shut it down with a touch of a button at any
Yeah.
moment. I
And
mean,
we're still there. I just want to give you all, put out a fair warning to you. As the good guys are letting the whole system fall, that is still the threat. If Europe and the UK is screaming, because I think the one of the big
oh
banks.
yeah, didn't they do
shut
that? Didn't they do that in Russia or whatever? You know, the government and stuff like that. For those that did have big money and were doing certain things, they were starting to shut down banks and stuff like that, so they don't
Yeah.
have access to, you know.
There's a whole situation out there that we don't really talk about it, but there's many nations that have been feeling the pinch for a long time. There's been bank runs where people have been going to the bank for at least a year now, and they couldn't get their money out. It's been in places like China. It's been all kinds of places where they were doing bank runs. But now when it spreads all the way to, so it was okay for some people when Sri Lanka fell and Venezuela fell and all those ones like that. They were cool with that. But now when Europe is falling, we got a problem. We got a damn problem. So it's to the point now where the good ones, like I said, just don't know how far down we have to go, but be sure to make sure your house has proper food and proper water and that you have some cash money. Because if they do get to a situation where they're not letting you use debit cards and credit cards, you want to have some cash.
Right.
Because remember, that was the dark plan. That was the dark plan. So, but so I think my whole point in bringing this up was just to say, I think there's a fear. People seeing stuff and they're like, we don't know where this is going, and it makes them fearful and even makes them angry.
I had a
And so
question
that's what
too. Did we really ever run out of coins? the national coin shortage deal. I don't think we really fully, you know.
If you ask me, because it's made out of copper, silver, metal, and all that good stuff, those are the, those are resources. So if you stack up on that, when things change for you, then you got you a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? To bargain with or something. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if it's true or not. But
it made me think of like, World War I or World War II, women going in, they collected medals and stuff like that.
That'll cost you 20 shillings.
Parts of
but I still suggest right now, if you have that extra money to spend, that you invest in silver and gold.
I don't know about anywhere else, but here in North Carolina, they sent out emails and texts that we're gonna get a hike in our food stamps. And I'm saying, why are y'all gonna do that? I'm just wondering why they're gonna do that. And they ain't hardly no groceries in the store.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing left hardly to get out of the grocery store.
Right.
Sometimes, yeah.
We're moving towards
the meat prices are like
they're higher.
High. A pack of chicken wings was like $21.
Right.
For a family pack of chicken wings.
Like how many chicken wings is in there?
About 8.
Not even 21.
I was like,
it sure ain't.
No, I mean here, 10, 15, but she said 21 something. Like where you?
It ain't 21. It's probably about 18 and 19.
At
you might get 18 and 19 in a family pack.
Right.
I'm
It's
at
gotten crazy like that. But here's the deal. Okay, got two things going on. We need to get to a point where we grow our own food. That's going to be something that we just have to do. But just FYI, on the ground, I don't remember the number, and I don't remember the number. But on the ground, they had enough food or have because it was seized by the good guys to last many, many years. They were going to make it with the food and leave us to starve. That
what's
was their little plan too.
so was it the what is that called, Mike? The what's the prepackaged dehydrated stuff that y'all
Oh, the MRE.
MREs? Is that what they was gonna try to survive off of?
Well, they had like real foods of everything.
And okay.
Yeah, and they actually it was seized. It was seized by the good guys because they wanted to make it seem like there's no food nowhere. No, they were hiding it underground so that when they drove us in the ground, that we would just starve. And that's a major plan. They remember they as quiet as it's kept. Many food plants caught on fire, and grocery stores been emptying out and everything. This is all the plan that they made. This was not by flukes. They want to make it seem like, oh my God, it was the pandemic. No, it wasn't the pandemic. Y'all made a plan. And as I mentioned to
It was the
Mike,
pandemic.
yes, that's the whole thing was about. And as I was mentioning to Mike, we were just talking about the Georgia Guidestones. It was written. It was written on the stones.
When you
Written.
said that, I thought immediately the Bible. It was written. When you said it was written. But when you was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
And I'm sorry, Margot, Earth and Fire came to my mind in the stone. That's what came to my mind. The
Oh,
song in the stone.
yeah.
And it said on the stones, it said 500 million people will be salvaged. We have a world of 7.8 billion counted. I say counted because there's many that's not counted. So 7.8 billion people counted, and you all were going to take the population down to 500 million, and that would be the slave. I mean, it was in writing. They put it in writing. So anybody who ain't believing me, go look up the Georgia Guidestones. It was right there. I mean, even though the stones have been destroyed now and taken down, they were there for years. It had everything right there of what it was. So it's at a craziness where we just have to pay attention to all the plan, that dark plan that was there, and recognize what was trying to be placed upon us and just where we are now,
Right.
what we can do now. Like there's a story that I was gonna talk about in the tea, who spiked the tea, and I chose to not talk about it because it really pisses me out. Y'all know the story of John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, his wife saying, "Oh, we lost a baby," and they were trying to relate it over to the whole abortion thing, why people want to abort babies, not having a choice to abort, all this kind of stuff they wanted to do. But that, in my memory, that is the one thing that I was told about that couple a while back, why their name ended up on the list is because of them, something to the effect of taking their unborn fetus and dealing in that situation. I heard that way back, and I've seen their name on the list. So they're trying to change the narrative now and put this other story out. And I found out more stuff that I haven't wanted to talk about when it comes to Roe versus Wade, and the result of that is really hard. But only thing I'm gonna say this to you: whatever side you want to land on is up to you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you this one piece of information: an aborted fetus on the black market, $250,000.
Mm.
That's what they pay. And they take that fetus and they shock it in order to get that adrenochrome, the most expensive drug in the world. And I said the word, I can't say it again. That's only one time I'm going to say that because I said it by mistake. So whatever side of this argument you land on, make sure you know what the purpose is that it ever came up. And the purpose is for ending what was going on is because of those monies on the black market and what the dirty folks were doing, what the dirty elite were doing. So just take those things into consideration when you think about that whole argument.
Oh, okay.
What that is too. That part, I didn't know what the amount was, but to find out that part, I was like, okay, that's the hidden piece of the puzzle I've been looking for. But let me move on from that.
Deep, touchy subjects. That's a deep, touchy one right there, though.
Yeah, that's very touchy there, because I don't want to start preaching. Y'all know me. But my new fascination. Veronica knows my fascination. I've been just learning from this. Okay. I have been fascinated ever since I was on the phone with you, Margot, last week. I have been fascinated with, huh?
I feel like, are you talking about that monkey?
Some damn monkeys. Oh, monkeys have been fascinating me. I got a new soap opera. I'm dead ass serious. I got a new soap opera. Monkeys, I never knew. Because when I was on the phone with you, I saw the mama monkey really beating the hell out of that baby. And I said, oh my God, oh my God. I was like,
What?
I started looking closer and I started looking at, that's how they wean them, and them little things, they be moving on all four legs and they be mean and they strong as hell. And their mamas be trying to pull them off and they be like, ah! And they scream. They go, ah! And
that's how they that's a lot. That's traumatic. So.
But now it's my new favorite show because now I
Y'all got to give Tanya. No,
Veronica, I gotta send you a video. It will have you
that
rolling.
Medication she taking.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it will have you rolling. If you see how these monkeys be so slick, some of them, the mamas don't wean them in time, and they be big, hanging on the mama with their big ass. Thought big as she is. And they be hanging on still, and the mama be sitting there and they be reaching for her chest and she look like, I'm gonna mess you up in a minute. Try it again. and then when the daddy came up and bit one of them, Janet kept right on messing with her mama. She saw her little brother and sister getting, milk, and she kept standing there messing with her mama's chest. And that daddy said, I'm sick of you. He reached over and he bit her, and she and then she just ran off screaming. I'm telling you, it is a full soap opera. You have to see it. It is funny as hell. I started saying to myself, this is comedy. That they are so smart, and it just became so comedic. So I said, you know what? I don't need to watch Hulu. I can watch YouTube and watch these damn monkeys. They crazy.
All day, every day.
But you find out a lot when you look at it, though. You do find out a lot of information just about.
If it ain't the monkeys, it's like elephants and stuff. They be going. I think elephants are a wonderful animal, and I think they're beautiful. But I am terrified. I'm terrified of elephants.
Right. Yeah.
Scared of them. I'm scared that they're just gonna start going off.
Loss of life.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna lay right there. He just had to get me because I'm not gonna run.
Well, elephants used to be a form of punishment in India. They used to actually have elephants, and you would be punished by being crushed by an elephant. That was a punishment up to, and it wasn't that long ago. It was probably like less than 100 years ago when they used to do that.
Oh, really? Wow. So they would actually use it as a death sentence thing?
Right, exactly. Like instead of having the guillotine, they would have an elephant crush you behind to death.
Oh,
yeah, but see, they also got a very good memory.
Yes, they do.
They have very good memories.
I don't know. I'm not an elephant, but anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't
I
trust them.
yeah,
Well,
I
they're very
don't.
intelligent animal. They are intelligent for
They
sure.
Yeah,
are. They're beautiful animals, but I'm scared of them.
but
That's
Yeah,
why I
they
don't go to
belong in. They
circuses.
definitely belong in a wild and not in your living room. That's for sure.
Yeah, but like
that's
going
what
to
I
the
discovered
circus,
about those monkeys. So
going to
all
the
those
circus or
people who
something like
keep
that. I
getting,
don't. That's one of my reasons why I don't go to circuses because I'm scared
but
that I'm gonna be sitting in the stands and he's gonna start going
mhm,
crazy because he does not want to deal with the trainer, and then that's everybody in the audience. See, I just rather stay home. I'm not going to the circus.
but that's what I feel about monkeys too. I don't want one in my home because I basically still feel like that's a wild animal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and people try to domesticate them, but who they
I
really
think
are,
any wild animal. I think any wild animals need to stay out there with it. Why bring that to your home and put it in your house?
hmm
And then once you thinking, oh, that animal love you to death, and then it turns on you, and then you
right.
ready to kill it, or no, leave it where it. You ain't had no business having it in your house and start with.
If I'm watching monkeys that are this big, about this big as a baby,
Excuse me.
so strong, hanging on to their mom, and she can't get them off, what do you think a grown size monkey would do
Tear
to
you
you?
apart. Tear you
Exactly,
Crush
apart.
you.
Hmm.
exactly, and
And you
that's what's scary to me.
I mean, you guys remember that time when the lady had a domesticated and ate her friend's face off? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was a real thing. And
hmm
they had to like the grown men could not take that thing down. They had to shoot it to bring it down.
Right.
So those
Yeah,
things, they look real cute and
hmm
they'll get
beautiful
you a lot of
animals.
attention and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a wild animal and it needs to be
Right.
in the wild kingdom. And we need to respect that them in their habitat. I think we try to make everything a pet these days.
Yeah.
Yes.
That we don't realize that that pet or that animal, it has its own agenda
Right.
Exactly.
and that
Right.
agenda is not our agenda. They're there to, and then they also have their memories. So you got to think of that elephant or that ape might have some memories back in his DNA and say, "Oh, you killed my great great grandpa. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
you out."
I
Exactly.
don't know the name of the movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. Mike, you might have remembered the movie because I think you said something about this movie before. But it was this guy had raised. He went somewhere and brought back the gorilla. It was a gorilla he brought back, or was it a
Mm.
chimp? It was. I think it was a chimpanzee he brought back,
Uh
and he
huh.
brought back. He brought brought it back. He raised it and took care of it till it got grown.
hmm
And he had went off. Tanya, it might have been Tom. One of y'all, somebody I remember was talking about it before, and he had to go to work. He left to go to work, and when he went outside, somebody was trying to attack the dude. And when they
Oh,
attacked, the monkey seen it, and
hmm
he got out the house and he started just went on a killing spree.
oh, that was Caesar.
It was I don't think it was a Caesar. It was something. It was I don't think it was a Caesar.
Yeah, it was that was the hell is that the Planet of the Apes. And then cause remember they tried to put him down after that.
Wow. I
Because
mean, they
he had brought Caesar home and Caesar was up there in that room and when him and that dude got into it, all he knew was the guy who was taking care of him. And so when he seen him getting threatened, he went out there and got on his ass, got dead
Mm-hmm.
on his ass.
And he
mm,
just started killing a whole lot of people that he found. I guess the guy would come home and talk about it talk about it to somebody about who did what to him and how his day went. And this ape was memorizing everything he was saying.
right.
And whenever he left the house, he would get out the house and he would go and hunt them people down
hmm
and kill them. And it was like trying to figure out how's people dying around here, but don't have no.
That's why I was telling you. I mean, it goes back to what I was saying. They are some intelligent ass little beings. They are intelligent. They understand stuff. I have to show you the one video that was completely comedic. How this monkey was acting with his family and in the family structure. How he was acting when he was still trying to get that milk, and then how another situation where the monkey Janet, when she got in trouble and she was just plain mad how she went in the tree and she was still up in the tree talking about I mean just stuff like they were just acting like badass kids, you know, until her daddy or mama went up there smacked her, you know. But they have these they understand. They understand. I tell you, that's my new favorite show. You know, I had to get past it because I didn't understand. They have these little tantrums. I thought that this man was. Everybody was trying to say that this man was abusing this monkey by not giving it milk. No, that wasn't it. The little thing was just pissed off having the tantrum because he probably wanted it from his mom. And so he was just having a complete fit because that's what they do. They have tantrums. You know, and those little things are strong as hell. But it reminds me of like Mike was saying about the woman with the face, Adolf. What about the people who had the monkey? It was a husband and wife, and they had to give it up because it was gotten aggressive. So they sent it to like a reserve type place, you know, and they went to visit. And I think I told you about this before. How the other monkeys, when they came in, had tore his face off and his arm off and all this other stuff and just attacked him when they came and brought the birthday cake. You know, they went crazy on his ass. But like in the words of J. Anthony Brown, Tom Jordan Morning Show, he had to make a joke because it was so serious and he made a joke out of it to where people would just laugh a little bit at this real, you know, hard story. Y'all probably not gonna laugh, but it was funny for me then. But they were saying, he says, he said the reason why they attacked the man, he said, I know why they attacked the man. And they were like, why did he attack the man? Why did the monkeys attack the man? And he said, because when you take a cake to a monkey, you take enough cake for all the monkeys. So everybody just fell out laughing.
Right.
I think we learned that in first grade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta have enough.
Hey, it's like that that man that they had. I don't know if it was for real, if they was acting when he went over there with the McDonald's for his son and his son only.
Right.
And that woman was like, "You need to bring some for our
It's like you.
Right.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. You know, but I just found that story for years. That story has been in my head for years, you know. But what about this? You know, I was looking back on some of our former shows, pet peeves. Remember we talked about our pet peeves and everything?
Yeah.
I still have my own. Anybody have any that's still standing out? What your biggest pet peeve is right now? What? You know what mine is? Mine is to be talking and I feel like somebody is not listening. You know, I have a fit, especially on the phone. And so I'm talking to somebody and I feel like they're not listening. Oh, that's like a real pet peeve of mine. What are some of y'all's pet peeves before I go forward?
I got one is like, I know you've been in my stuff.
Yeah.
Or you move something in my room, but you like you didn't go in there or do anything, you know. And I have that going on with my kids sometimes. Like most recent, you know, I go to the grocery store, I buy the bulk items sometimes of things, especially when it comes to like, you know, the natural stuff. So I bought like these gummy bears. It's a bag of gummy bears now. Y'all know I like licorice and gummy bears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I go in and like for the last 2 days, I had them sitting on the countertop. So my youngster mentions, oh, there's some gummy bears on the countertop. I wonder whose they are. And I'm like, don't play. You know whose they are. But I go look at them. I say, somebody's missing because I know when I purchased them, I had more than this in that bag. Oh, I ain't touched them. I say, so you ain't touched them at all. Well, I might have had one. I'm like, well, if you had one, you had more than one. And
You
you
know
said
how many you
all
had.
at the beginning. So I'm like,
Right.
you didn't touch them at all. And then you say you have one. It's some lies in there. So that's one of
Right.
the things. Like,
You
don't be
know how many damn you done had.
yeah. Yeah. And the count is way more than one. So yeah. I was like, quit me.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve, especially when something you really like,
Yeah.
you've been waiting on,
Mm.
and then it's missing. Yeah,
Mm.
so
And then, well, it's been up there forever. I don't give it. It's been up
I
there
can't
for
stand
a
somebody.
month. When I
Yeah, I
got my
mean,
mouth set on it, I know it's gonna be there.
yeah, I'm like
I
you. I
can't
like the
stand for somebody to tell me they're
blueberries.
gonna do something. They're gonna do something. And, well, I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this and do it. It take you 3, 4, 5, 12, 15 hours to do it. Can't stand that. You gonna do it. Go down, do it. Say you're gonna do.
Pops, I'm
And
Yeah.
already
quit messing
there.
around. Quit asking around and just go ahead and do it. But it's, oh my
You
God, I
know,
can't stand for nobody to do that.
one of my pet peeves is that, you know, what was it? But for real, it's like when I'm eating and I'm eating something I like or something, but the person I'm with don't like it, and they comment something and they say, "I don't like that. It's nasty." Well, why are you commenting
Oh, I
on
can't
my
stand that
food?
either. Oh
Don't
God,
ever
no.
Right.
comment on my food while I'm eating it. If we're gonna have this conversation and just gonna have a conversation about that type of food, that is not the time to have the conversation. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? While I'm
Or
about
when
to,
while you
because
eating
I'm
it,
about to
they're gonna
tear
say
up,
look like
I'm about to tear up this food. You know what I'm saying? And you throw,
Mhm.
look, that, to me, that's like why? Why would you
Yeah.
say my food is nasty just because you don't like that type of food? I just,
Or maybe you want some and you just scared to ask for
oh,
exactly.
they ain't gonna get none. But anyway,
it.
that's my favorite food. Like that's my food. Don't
I can't. Yeah, because I can't stand like you're
don't
eating
say
it
nothing
and
bad.
they don't like it, but then you're eating it. That looks like
You
nasty.
know,
That like it looks like a piece of this and it looks like a piece of that and
See, they
oh,
can't.
it smells so bad.
You can't do
Well,
that to
look, you
me
ain't
because
gotta
I'm
smell
still
it. You ain't
eating. I
gotta
don't
taste
care
it. You
what
ain't gotta look at it. Quit,
yeah,
the
I'm
close your
eating
eyes
this
and let me
food.
eat it.
tap dancing on top of it. I'm still
You
gonna.
know, yeah, you know what? And I'm still gonna eat the food regardless of what you
Exactly.
said. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
Still gonna eat the
Mhm.
food. So you just wasting your breath telling me you could have kept that to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Um,
that talk to the hand, because the head ain't, we ain't
I know
hearing
that's right.
Right.
Look over there. Just look over there. Let me finish what I'm doing over here.
Right, right.
it.
You know, I have another pet peeve of mine that I hate, and Veronica knows this because she's heard me say it. I hate people that brag all the time about what they have or what they're doing.
About the same thing they did the last time. They keep bragging about the same thing that you heard over and over and over again.
Yeah, I
She's
mean
talking about me now,
it's
y'all.
annoying.
Like I
Oh
heard you the first
no, Asa,
time,
you
Veronica. I heard you the
no,
first time,
no, I'm
Veronica.
not talking about you right now, but yeah. But I talked to Veronica about another person that does that with me a lot, and she knows. What I mean.
I do it to get on her nerves.
Mhm.
You know what it reminds me of? Um, you're so much like Renita, my sister. Renita would be like,
Who's my best
she got to
friend?
step out in front of,
Okay,
you
who's my
have
best
that.
friend?
Yeah. And so one time we had a family picture. Renita wasn't there. It was me, mom, and dad. Renita wasn't there. She told me and my mom and dad she was gonna put her picture in it, but if we said, "Oh no, we can't put her picture in it," because it was gonna be out there in front of all of us,
Mhm.
and she was gonna be in the front. But that's when sometimes when people do that to me, it kind of shadow me a little bit. But it's not that. It's not any of that. Veronica, you know what it is. You know who it is that annoys me when they do that. So it's
Mhm.
not you. I just pick at your ass, but it's that's one of my pet peeves, you know. But Another story that we talked about. Remember, we're talking about shooting the messenger
Yeah.
and how it's so difficult to talk to people and tell them the truth about something because they come at real hard at you. You're trying to deliver some news or give them some information that's you think is helpful to them, and they snap out on you. Y'all remember that story?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one.
That
All
happens.
too well.
That happens a lot. That definitely happens a lot. I think for the person to respond right away or whatever, and it's more so like we were saying, they were already setting themselves up to respond versus listening to everything, in total. But
Oh, wait a minute.
it's
I
always
see, I see Shamika in the comments. I just noticed that she said, "Now I'm about to go look up these monkeys."
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
These
my
monkeys
new favorite show. Oh, they will have you rolling.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it'll look so pitiful at first. It ain't pitiful. Trust me. Just hang in there when you see the mamas whooping them little babies' asses. Trust me. Just hang in there, and you will understand why they gotta whoop them down, why they gotta beat them down. But that stuff be funny to me when they get a little bit older. They be funny to me. I be in it like it's a soap opera, new soap opera. I be like, Sweet Pea, sit your ass down. But you just have to see it. It was funny.
Mm-mm.
New favorite show. It might beat out my Hulu shows. I don't know.
Mhm.
Uh, but we're talking about shooting a message. Messenger. I'm sorry. I just saw Shamika and wanted to acknowledge that Shamika Nicole was there. Hey, girl. And she said, "Hey, best friend of you, Margot."
Hello. Okay.
So, but what's my phone doing? I we'll go to another one. The messenger thing was interesting. Remember, we talked about high value women and high value men. We know kind of what that was inspired by. That was inspired by what was his name? Kevin
Kevin
Samuel.
Samuels.
Kevin, the Godfather,
Oh
Samuel.
God. Oh my God.
Are you missing your dude? Because I know you used to watch a lot of his stuff, Bernard.
The thing is, he spun out of the conversation. I think the real thing, the most important thing about it is that black men and black women do need to conversate, and we do need to talk to each other. And we not need to be just talking at each other, but we need to really understand where each other's coming from, because there
Right.
is a divide and there is mistrust on both sides. Due to the fact that we were colonized and we were brought over here as enslaving people, and a lot of things. If you ever heard of the Willie Lynch
Yeah.
Yeah.
letter or book,
Yeah.
you'll find out that the things that was set in that place in that book are things that are currently in effect at this immediate time, and that's why
Hmm.
we're at the place of the black family. The black family was stronger together in before segregation. Once segregation happened, then they started dividing the black family. But even though we were still kind of together, and then when you had in the 90s and the 80s, where you have crack and welfare taking the head of the household, and now you have the black man out, and now the government taking care of your kids. Now people looking at the government for their for substance instead of pulling the community together and working together.
Right.
So I think that conversation needs to is definitely an ongoing conversation,
Hmm.
and we need to have more of those conversations. But I think we need to be looking forward towards progress, not to have different sides, but how can we cross the road to the other side, or meet in the
Mhm.
middle ground somewhere where we can both can be validated and uplifted as men and as women.
Right.
Yeah. I have a comment. I'm just gonna be positive, y'all. You're definitely gonna be positive about that. First, I want to say thank you so much, Shamika. She says,
Yes. Thank
"Happy birthday, Tanny girl." And let's see, what I move my cursor. I move my cursor out of the way I can read. If I could read it, well, my system is frozen now, but I hope that it's full of peace, love, and joy. Thank you so much. Um, I actually wanted to comment on that when it comes to Kevin Samuels and the things that he did bring to the forefront. I think there was a whole narrative that I didn't know was so deep, and with the things that he brought to the forefront, it actually it made a lot of sense to me that there was an argument. I didn't know exactly that there was that deep of an argument going on between the men and the women about how we perceive things in dating and relationships. I knew that there was something
That's
there.
like
I
that.
don't want to be not sound naive, but I just didn't know it was like that. So bringing that to the table actually kind of awakened me in some ways to how those relationships are being perceived between the sexes, and especially between ethnic people, black women and men and things like that. I just didn't know it was to that degree. So it did bring a lot of interesting information to the table for me personally. What do you all feel?
You know what? Another thing I like to point out, he brought facts because a lot of times we as a people, we are an emotional group of people and spiritual minded people, but sometimes we're not factual as we see what's really happening around us. Like he brought the demographics about how many black men are married to black women and what the numbers were. He turned to I think it's called blackdemographics.com that you can go and you can actually look at that some of the things that we're being um, kind of like talked about black in generalities, when we look at the specific information, we find out that they're not true. They're not true at all. So I think we have to look base our information on true and verifiable information, not just on your feelings, because a lot of times uh, we have a habit of picking the same type of person or the same type of woman or the same type of guy. We have our thing. Like some men may say back in the day when it was like you remember Shalimar and all those, like light skinned dudes were in and dark skins were out. And now, you go to now in the 90s, now, they took the 2022, now black men are in and stuff like that. And then you're looking at all the dark skinned black models that are across the world now. Like they're a thing now. So I think we have to kind of like support each other when we do positive stuff, call each other when we do negative stuff, but I think in a spirit of love and trying to really understand the person versus to just cap on them and stuff. Like, okay, I'm just gonna blast you out because I know I'm gonna get more hits and more reviews and more followers and more I can take that to the bank literally through Google and Instagram and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, that's I made me think about something else in the change of things. I really was trying to pull up this picture up now that it just came to my mind. We didn't mention it or talk about it earlier because I am the one who forgot to talk about it. I was having this conversation with different people, and I had a conversation with my mother last night. We have had this new thing happening on the reality show front where remember you would have African Americans get on the show and they would be one of the first ones out. And ever since last year when Big Brother, CBS show Big Brother, you had a group of 6 that formed an alliance called the Cookout. And they came down to the final six, and then guy Xavier won. It seems like we started getting to be a part of the game now. Survivor had crowned the black female the last season,
Right.
and
Mhm.
the Challenge USA. The football player Danny, I was surprised he wasn't even a favorite. He won, and then just Sunday night, Big Brother 24 crowned the very first African American female, Taylor Hale,
Yeah.
and this young lady was absolutely not a favorite of people because what they had done was really, really, really bad. The girls in the house, they formed an alliance. All the girls in the house formed this alliance and did not include this young lady. And it really just, made me mad and made a lot of people mad. Even the cookout kind of spoke about it too. Nobody could understand why, these people do it, but it was being led by a girl named Paloma, and she ended up having to step out of the show. She had some type of a mental episode, and she stepped out of the show early. So they tried 4 times at the beginning of the show to put this girl up for eviction, and she escaped 4 times. And then she later in the show she had a fifth time, and she went on to win. And the two finalists was her and a black guy named Monty, that they were even the ones that were the finalists. And I'm sure that he felt like he had it in the bag because he had more HOH, head of households and more veto. But the people who were on the jury, I guess they looked at her story, how she had to really overcome, week after week, and still being there, and she won. She's a beauty queen. She was Miss Michigan USA. She's a beauty queen, and I think that honestly, I think that's the reason why the girls in the house didn't like her, is because she was a beauty queen, and sometimes people being petty. But I was still trying to pull up her picture so that I could show people who. I'm going to try to still pull it up, even though we can move on in the conversation. But have you all noticed the same thing, that we're kind of showing up now in these shows and all? We're kind of showing up and showing out.
Showing up and showing out.
We
Well,
cannot be good.
we as
Big
people, we
children.
move the culture. We move the
Yeah.
culture. We are the culture edge. If you look at any music, any genre, you look at art, you look at theater, you look at anything across the board, we move the genre. I remember when I was
Right.
growing up, we used to listen to R&B, and we're like, white people used to pretend like they didn't like R&B, right? But
Uh-huh.
but if you drive by their car, they playing the Reddings over there. They playing James Brown. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm like, what the heck? And now they've always liked it. They've always liking our music and our way of how we can like make anything that maybe seem like bad, but we can make it cool.
Yeah.
We can
Mhm.
make it smooth. We can make it nice. We can turn holy, pants with rags into a fashion style. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Yeah.
had seen something on YouTube, and it was when I don't know if it's Frankie Lyons or
Uh-huh.
the one that sing the old school.
Do what?
Yeah, the
Do
old school.
what?
Yeah.
Do what?
Well, somebody posted when the white teens were at a live taping and realized that he was black, and you should have seen the expressions on his face.
Oh yeah. Why do
Wow.
fools
Yeah,
fall
and it's
in?
like, so is this gonna make you not like the music because you saw his color? Or you're going to focus on the bigger picture, which is the music is music and it's universal and it touches anybody of any race, of any color.
Well, that's about controlling imagery and controlling who is the head of the power dynamics in the United States. That's all about power control. It's not about even about the quality of the music, because many a days, many back in the 60s and 70s, they had a lot of black artists, but they had white people on the album
And
cover.
coverage, yeah.
That was really, really tradition. Now it's almost like the Oz and who's the man behind the veil, and you find out who's the man, and our women who are behind the veil. It's
Yeah.
people that look like you and us,
Yeah.
And then they benefited. But the thing is, we need to control our own narrative and also be able to monetize our own images, our own creativity, our own inventiveness, and all of that. And I think that's where we need to cross another line too, is that not just be able to come up with the ideals and the cultural control and cultural, but also we need to benefit directly from that and be able to monetize that. I mean, we've lost trillions of dollars if you think about the music industry or the movie industry
Yeah.
and how they've been set up. And they've been
Right.
set up where we get the small, minute share, and they get the residual and the ongoing money perpetuity on and on and on and on again. There's people who movie stars who made a movie 20, 30 years ago, and they still making big bank on it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I need some of that money.
There was this young
Gonna need
man
both.
on I was looking at I think it was like a TikTok. You know how they had to go you go through your phone and they have people talking about gospel music and you got some gospel songs coming up, then you swipe again and it's a video of different stuff. Well this I can't remember what the man's name was, but he was he was in a I guess it was just a big studio thing stadium where they had or they were having they was going to do church stuff. And there were some black people in there, but majority of his audience was white. And he was telling them how different songs originated from, where they came from, that it started back with slavery, and they put little beats to the music, and it comes from I guess he was trying to say black all music came originated from the slavery. And you come in. I think it was I forgot what were the name of them songs. It was
Well,
old hymns that
it's
he was
even
pulling
deeper.
out old hymns.
It's even deeper than
Huh?
that. I mean, if you go all the way to Africa and the diaspora and stuff like that, that the first string instruments and the first flute instruments and stuff, that all came from Africa. So when you're talking
He
about,
said that all
you
that
know,
came from there. He was talking about um like the hymns, like he was singing a little bit of hymns, and the white people were singing with him, and he was singing it as he wasn't singing it like we have our version, they have their version. He was singing it our version, and they were singing along with him in our version. And you would see some of them white people, they were standing up and shouting. They were carrying on like, wow. I was like, whenever if I come across it again, I'll put it in a group chat.
yeah, I think I saw
But
something similar like that on
off
Facebook.
the chain with me.
hmm
If I
well,
run across, I would
some of those spirituals were also used to show them how to get to the north. They used to sing spirituals not just for
It's
and
cold,
then
like
they tell when the man coming, you know what I'm saying? When the man when the man come, they might be chilling, but then they'll sing a certain song and then that means you gotta get back to work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the
kind of
overseer
like
coming.
code. What the hell was that? Like the wind talkers or whatever for the Navajo, like code talking. You know what I'm saying?
Underground
Right.
Railroad and all that.
Oh, we had our code. That's why we
Yeah.
developed our slang because we couldn't
Mhm.
we couldn't talk African, but we had to talk English. But if we broke it down to broken English and to a point, I go back and look at some of those old movies back in the day and listen to the
Yeah.
slang, and I don't understand what they say.
Yeah. I've done that before a couple of times too.
Like what they be- what's
I'm
that?
like, woo, what they I catch on. Yeah. But they be a trip.
I could hear for a second, but you know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Y'all
say I didn't hear.
talking.
I didn't hear nothing for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't hear for a few seconds. It was just out. But y'all talking gave me a chance to pull up Taylor's picture. So thank y'all for talking because I really wanted to make sure that I showed her picture so that
She's
people,
beautiful.
Big Brother, we had our first African American female, and in addition
Okay.
to Yeah, in addition to winning the $750,000, she was also voted America's favorite player, giving her
Yeah,
another 50,000. So
right.
she won
Wow.
$800,000.
And that
You
was the
know,
first time that ever happened.
ever happened. She made history twice the other night. So I was
Mm.
very. I mean, Bernard, did you watch the whole season?
No, I'm not a big fan, but I watched that.
Okay.
I watched the end of it, and I was very happy that
Yeah,
she
I
won.
hugged
She
her the
played
whole
a
time.
very above the board game, and she had a
Yeah.
game plan from the
She
outset.
very eloquent speaker.
Oh yeah, very, very,
Yeah.
very much.
And she dealt with
Although,
a lot of crap and she stayed classy the whole time. She never fought back with anybody who had a problem with her. She was just totally just classy the
and it,
whole time. She'd go in a room and cry,
and you
by
know what?
herself.
Those same girls who were out to get her, they
Hmm.
all voted for her.
They
Every
voted for her.
last one of them voted for her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted to see the female, because they all said the females don't win. It's just so ironic. They followed the little girl Paloma at the very beginning of the season. Paloma smeared Taylor's name all over the house, and Taylor couldn't do anything but go in a room and cry because she didn't understand what was happening. And even Monty, the black guy who sat beside Taylor at the end, he was even against her at the beginning. Nobody just understood why
Mhm.
this girl was victimized. And even the cookout from last season, the cookout had a take on that, and she became their hero too. They were like, okay, we're going for Taylor because they saw the way she was being treated too. But it was just a lesson in the whole thing, that how you can treat somebody. You never know, that may be your hero on the end. You might treat them like that at the beginning, and
Mm.
that still might be the one on the end that God can make your enemies your footstools.
Hmm.
Yes.
There we go.
Jesus.
There you go. There
Mm.
you go.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Mm.
Ha.
So just had to call that one too.
Well, cream rises to the top.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh,
Hey.
And you your enemies, the greater your enemies, the greater your victory. Just
yes.
tell you that. A lot of people don't like wonder why people there. Your enemies are actually there to make you strong. Okay.
Yeah.
If you
What
got to
is
take
the
the right attitude with your enemy instead of being them like they are like some evil that are no, they are there to build that muscle of patience. They be able to
right?
build that muscle of perseverance. They be able to build that muscle of determination. They
Yes.
and also to build that muscle of grace, and that once you achieve your greatness or your goals and stuff, they also to be there to humble you too, because you know what you had to
Mhm.
go through, and now that you've been through that same thing, that that other people who look just like you or talk just like you need, maybe you're helping them to guide them the way and show them that they can do what you can do.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, Bernard, very similar to what you said just now. I put this in my phone the other day because I heard it on one of the shows. It said God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And I was like, I get that. I get that. And so I wrote it down to remind myself when I'm having those tough battles.
Well,
But
that's something for all of us. Like if you having
mhm,
battles you're going through, write stuff around your house. Get the sticky notes and stuff like that. Place stuff
right.
up there, and that's just not for us. That's for all you guys in the YouTube or StreamYard.
Hmm.
Stay focused on what you're in. That's one thing that girl did, and you got to admire her and take her
Yeah,
point per point what she did. She had a plan. She stayed focused and she worked her
hmm,
plan.
that's
And,
right.
Mm.
and no matter what the detractors were, no matter what the haters were, she never
Hmm.
deviated out of her plan. And
That's
that was
right.
her plan. Was what your plan is also going to be aligned up with your purpose.
Yeah, but
Mm.
she said the whole time she's that season, she says, I'm going to be Big Brother's first black female, African American female winner. She said it the whole time. And she also did something that I felt was also very classy. When during her head of household reign, she made it clear that she was not going to put another black female up for eviction. And she kept the word, and she didn't do it. So, classy. So they'll let me know if I'm ever on any of these reality shows. I can't show out.
I mean, you can. I mean, you can.
I don't know.
I'll be home too quickly.
I mean, you can show out. I mean, you know,
I think you're gonna be gone the first round. You are like.
You just gotta.
You are a threat. You are a threat. You're a threat to the general civilization.
So I had too many pet peeves to be on the show like that.
Yeah, I couldn't because I looked at the when they don't clean up in their room and you got to sleep next to a person who, oh my God, that looked like they never, like one of the guys, he had a pile of clothes in the whole corner. I would go crazy.
Oh yeah, we'd be fighting.
Oh God, I'd be sleeping out in the fireplace. I mean, I would be somewhere I couldn't do it.
Out there
I can't do the show because they smell. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it at 100 with you. They smell. I was in the Air Force for 11 years. I know.
Hey, there you go.
They smell. It's a different type of smell too. I'm telling you.
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh,
they don't let you shower or nothing for a minute.
I'm just like I'm just personal personal experience. Having white roommates. I'm more. I ain't have no white. I don't know about the females. Y'all have to speak on that part. But the guys, ooh.
I ain't saying nothing.
I had to get rid of all of them. He know what I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking. He was in the military. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, yeah, I come across a lot of people who stink.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I said, a lot of people who stink.
I mean, we can understand your breath gonna be stinky every now and then, but your body, come on, man, your body clean.
I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you.
You know, you never know. You might have to go to the ambulance. Might pick up. You keep your drawers clean. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to have those Fruit of Looms. You shouldn't have nothing in there. It shouldn't be nothing in there.
I got one for you. I bet you that don't stink as bad as being locked in a cell underground in a jail cell with 20 plus, 15 plus people, women, all women.
See, y'all got some other stuff y'all got dealing with, so I ain't gonna even mess with that. I don't mess with that. We spend 9 months trying to get out, and we spend our rest of our lives trying to get back in. So it is what it is.
Yeah. It's a jail cell, but you got your window recorded. And you got two people in one cell. Someone had one people in the cell, and he had some of them got two people in the cell. They got to use that one toilet.
Mm.
Oh, that's ugly right there. I could just imagine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
She's saying it, but I can smell it right now.
Yeah, I think we need to move to the next topic real quick. This is going down fast.
No, change the topic.
Oh,
no.
Look, I'm a coughing. She remembers.
What's your favorite smell? Do anybody sage over there? Or what you got over there? Play some black love incense. You know what I'm saying? Black musk.
He say your favorite smell. I love lavender, vanilla. I forgot.
Yeah.
I got some
lavender with anything, just about.
I like that sandalwood, that dark sandalwood. Oh man,
I got some cocoa. What is it?
Yeah, cocoa something.
Cocoa
yeah.
coffee. I got some cocoa coffee. Soap, whatever the hell that is. Now that
shit smells good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it should smell good.
Who makes it?
Man, if I think it's soft soap.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I just happen to see it. I normally go with Dove, but I seen that I seen Coke. What is it? Cocoa. You know how they do cocoa shea butter coffee?
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
cocoa shea butter coffee, and it's in a.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's the color of the bottle is like a deep dark yellow. You know
Oh,
what I
it's
mean?
liquid. It's not a bar.
Yeah, it's liquid soap. Yeah. So I tried it. I smelled it in the store. I tried it. I said, this shit smell good. So so I go to work smelling like shea butter, coconut shea butter coffee. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's too much information, but just in case y'all want to try it, I just did free advertising for somebody. I don't hope you don't
Man,
get in
you
trouble.
know what? There's nothing as good as a good smelling woman too. You know, like you
Yeah.
have your woman,
Own
and
personal.
you know she got that certain perfume she wear, and like you can have your eyes closed, and you can smell it coming in the room. You're like, oh yeah, my woman is here.
Yes,
I
buddy.
feel that way about guys.
Yeah,
Because
I can
sometimes,
be out in
yeah.
public, like at a picnic table, talking with my
Mm-hmm.
best friend, having our like lemonade and whatever we do, and
Mhm.
you're like, "Wait a minute, who is that?" Hey,
Because you know, the
where did
smell.
this brother go? Because we need to go ask what he got on. Like,
And
God.
even if they not a brother that's not you're not attracted to physically,
But
that
if
when
you
that smell
smell
comes in,
good, you
it
just
changes
like,
the
Mhm,
whole
honey, let me
picture.
tell
Take the
y'all.
back.
Look,
halfway, you a smidget,
my
and you might
son.
want to rethink that just a little bit.
Yeah. It's like you don't see the visual no more. You be like, wait.
You be like, wait a minute, who is
My
that?
son got
Who
some cologne in
is
there.
talking?
When he put that cologne on, I told him he had to leave. I told him he got to go. He got to get out. And I
Yeah.
tell him, don't put that cologne on when you're around me. Do not,
Mhm.
please do not put that cologne on when you're around me. Put it on and take it with you and go down the street somewhere. Just take it with you. Don't put it on while you're in the house.
Get
I
your
mean,
ass.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to steal it
and
and give it to
then
my man for
it's
my
it,
man to put it on, and then it's
it's
I
gonna be a wrap.
mean,
it should be.
aromatherapy is a serious thing.
Yes, it
Aromatherapy is
Yeah.
is.
real.
Yeah.
They
Mm-hmm.
don't
It is.
play.
I love all them scents. I mean, my nostrils is like
Uh-huh.
like your tongue palate. If you got a real good tongue, my nose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
I ain't got no
Okay.
Yeah, I
small.
know that's right.
My
Marco. All
spirit
right,
hit
girl.
right, right,
That.
real quick. Like be like, ooh, like we gotta do something about this because I can't take it. Like it don't smell too hot. But certain
Mm-hmm.
things, like I gotta do. My nostril holes are a little too big, a little bit bigger than normal than a couple of other people. So I smell stuff like right away. I ain't even gonna lie. So like,
What you got there, girl? What you got there? Oh, okay.
Some
oh,
flavored
that's
chocolate, milk chocolate lip gloss.
Oh
You
shit.
know what they say? When it tastes good and feel good, it's all good.
Hey.
Ah, Bernard, man, he's been a mess, been a mess. Well, you know what? I was kind of like looking at one of the I'm gonna just mention this one and we can start to, kind of wrap. One thing I said tonight, we won't go like super long like we do sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes we be on them damn marathon shows, you know, and
Yeah.
they just wear you out and tire you out. But remember, we did this, Michael. This was your topic: spiritual strategy. Are you too caught up to be aware?
You
Remember
too
that one?
are you too caught up to be aware? Um, in the spiritual, what we just talking about spirituality in itself, because some people associate religion. I mean, consider spirituality strictly religion when they're two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
for some, their spirituality is religion, but spirituality is basically what makes you your best you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people dive deep into religion with it, and for some, that's their thing. But some people try to, like, what makes me my best me, and it might not align with what you think I should be doing, but you can't tell me what the hell to do any goddamn way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you too far in, you going too deep, trying to tell somebody else what they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'm sorry, Pops, but matter of fact, that
Uh,
video that I put in the group, Eddie Griffin kind of did a little stand on that. Kind of, it's
mhm.
funny that you say that it was an old subject, but that video I posted today with Eddie Griffin was
Yeah.
like spot on about what we talking about right now.
Well, you know, spirituality, it's levels to this thing, okay?
Yeah.
So
There's different levels to this
you
shit.
got you got to realize that, and everybody is at a certain level, and everybody's not ready to go that level. You know, it's like when they have this old adage that says that when the student when the student is ready, the master will appear. And what happens with a lot of when we talk about spirituality, there's people at lower levels and higher levels. And until a person is ready to assimilate new knowledge and new ways of thinking, then they're not going to be receptive to that. You kind of have to meet a person at whatever level they are. And if you know more than they do on a spiritual level, then you can bring them up to the point where they start to resist. And I think we think everybody's on the same level, but we're not. And that's not a hit against the person, but this life is also a process, and spirituality is also a process. Anybody can be religious. Anybody, because religious is just following a dogma and some rules that some people already have set up for you. And religion is basically really set up more of a control mechanism more than a way of enlightening yourself and making you embrace the higher the higher you, because a lot of things were done in the name of spirituality that are just simply cruel, murderous.
Oh man,
Some of the things that they did, they had this one thing where they will actually sit you up on a point. This like had this little point thing, it pointed up, and they will drop you down on there, and you had to profess that you had to like deny your gods or whatever and profess Christianity or tell the truth, or they were gonna spike you. And a lot of times they spiked them anyway, you know, because so there's so many atrocities have been perpetrated in the name of religion. But when you talk about spirituality, you don't see a whole lot of people who are spiritually in tune or trying to grow, trying to attack people or force people to their way of thinking. They either say either you know or you don't know. You know, either you accept or you don't accept. But religion says, I'm going to force you to think like I think. And if you don't think like I think, I'm going to destroy you, your kid, your grandparents, your great grandparents, and anybody else who gets in my way. Because religion is more about control and power versus really atoning a greater, transcending into a greater belief or a greater person that is thinking about is that it's more closer to nature than to you know, a power struggle. We're not because you have your own attainment. We know that everybody's path is different, and your path is not my path. So whatever your path is, that's great for you. And but religion don't believe that. They typically say, your path, if you ain't on my path,
you ain't on no path.
We're gonna be on a dead path. That's what path.
Yeah, but that ain't that crazy though. Like, cause you know, I mean, he's on to a point where, like, if you go back and look at it, like, you know, what they say, to the victor goes the spoil. So the person that was imposing this thing was the victor of whatever said war or whatever battle they had, and then they going around since they got the king or whoever and whoever else, whoever's in charge in the army and the muscle and the manpower, and to come in and just say, hey, this is how I think. You supposed to think like I think, and if you don't, I'm gonna torture your family, kill you, and everything else. Fuck. And then you know what I'm saying? I'm here over here in this land. You know, when we start getting into that, you gonna come from over there and come over here and tell me what the fuck to do? Pimp, we got a problem.
Well,
You know, like
look at the things where they said that Africans sold Africans to slavery. Well, you got to think about it. At that time, if you were an African king and you refused to sell the European slaves, be it they're your own people or being they're people that you captured from other African nations, that they would kill you.
Right.
You know, and now your people are left without leadership. You know what I'm saying? Or do you see like, okay, I can kind of control this thing as much as I can and stay in the game and make sure, well, I'm not going to let my people get enslaved. And plus, in slavery was different too. They thought of slavery like a temporary thing, and they're, you know, when they're selling their people into slavery and stuff, they're thinking, oh well, they're gonna be in there for maybe 2-3 years or 4 or 5 years, and then they're gonna be free.
So, from my understanding, I think they were. I can verify this for me because I don't know, but I'm just saying from my understanding of it, they had, I guess, undesirables, kind of like how the Brits did the folks. They're undesirables and sent them to Australia. Like when they were selling these folks, they were like the folks that got caught doing outlandish shit or doing fucked up shit, or people that was just, you know, undesirable. They were the fuck ups in the society. And then I was like, okay, y'all going to prison for this, or we gonna punish you like this. Hey, we don't even want you here. Going on with the white folks.
It was more than that. You got to think of these people. They don't have the same, see, because we think of it from a European mindset. Okay,
right?
They didn't have they had different nations. They had different tribes.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They had their own power struggles and stuff. That
See,
we don't
what they
realize.
try to do is they try to use the fact that tribe against tribe
Right.
had slaves
And then sit there and say, well, your
the
kind
same.
did this. You kind
Right,
did
and
this.
they try to act like they did the same thing. No, because tribe against tribe did not say because of the darkness of your skin you are less than.
Right.
You know, and that's the part they tried on us.
Well,
still ain't working.
You got to go
It is
back
bad.
to also the Pope and the Catholic
Yeah.
back in 1600, where he actually said that Africans were not human. And then there was also another scientist who came out with a book at around that same time saying that we weren't human. So what they did is first of all, they had to make us less than a man for their own psyche, because they could not morally back that if they thought us as being their equal. So when you do is you come up with spiritual reason and scientific reason, faulty scientific reasons to maintain the status quo of slavery, and then you go out there, and since you can't work your own people to death, or like you would like these inhuman people, then you built a whole country, a whole industry. I mean, you got to think about the cotton industry was humongous. I mean, we're talking about it was. I would say it was compared to the old Detroit days where they had the car industry.
Yeah,
that was kind of how the South was to the world.
But I look at it like with them Europeans and the French and all that whole thing. When they went to Africa and seen these people and got educated by these folks, it was like, ain't no way in hell we finna tell somebody that go back home and tell these folks that there's somebody out there smarter than us.
They couldn't do that.
You know what I'm saying? So how we gonna run this? How we gonna run this? How we gonna spin this story? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we don't want that getting out. To me, like I said, this just me just doing logic reasoning. That's where all that secret shit began. That's why all the secret keeping began. You know what I mean? Instead of you just appreciating and learning from the people that taught you something, you want to go back, act like you made it. You went off and traveled and came back educated on your own when somebody else taught you the shit, and then you want to try to get rid of the people that taught you some shit.
And here's another thing: if we go back to what you all were talking about with spirituality versus religion, I know for me personally, the thing that made me step completely away from religion and the churches that support that is the persecution that came with this whole way of thinking and way of life. And I just could not deal with the guilt and persecution that they put on people, because that was a taught and learned behavior from many years ago that has traveled all the way up to, present day.
Yeah.
How you, if you don't have these type of values or living this type of life, how you are persecuted, more or less.
And
And
Pops,
so that,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say that
no,
Pops.
this is his biggest turnoff to me, but and hypocritical. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say Pops brought up the Catholic and the Roman and all that stuff. But don't they praise the black picture of the original picture of Jesus and
Well,
Mary?
they have the Black Madonna.
Yeah, there we
And
go.
the Pope
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
has a Black Madonna. Each one of the popes, they have a Black Madonna. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that there were a bunch of actually black popes before that time period. So they knew that African Americans or Africans, indigenous people, melanated people, were just on the same level with them. I mean, you had popes. So, even when we could go to St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, and he was a black person from Turkey, from the Turkish area. And he was actually an orphan from a rich family that they used to give gifts to orphan kids and seamen who were away from their families. So that's where the tradition of the Christmas derived for. But then they blended together with some of the Anglo-Saxon religions, and one of them was one of their gods who was a white man with like a white beard and white hair, and he wore red. So the original Santa Claus wore green with white trim. And they changed the whole thing around, and they made him a white guy with white trim fur, and now his name is Santa Claus, not Saint Nick.
Wasn't that also the Roman orgy time of year and all that too? It was more in
Oh
there.
yeah, well, we go with the sun solstice. So when the sun worshipers didn't want to give up their religion, their worship, and they had this big compromise where, okay, we're gonna have Son of God, sun worshiper, you do the math, Christmas, even if you're a Bible scholar, you have to admit that based on the information in the Bible that Jesus could not have been born in the winter months because of how the sheep was coming that type of year and everything. It was tax year and stuff like that. So the whole thing. A lot of times you find in religion, you find a whitewash.
So
It's definitely that.
So I wanted to ask everybody, since we on the topic, in spirituality being what makes you your best you. I'm posing that question to the group. What makes you your best you?
I'll let the other ladies go first.
Good deflection.
Yeah. Veronica and Margot, y'all go first on that.
Go ahead,
Well, my own connection and interpretation with God. If I look at some of the stories and the things that I was told before being, stuff that happened before being born, what I went through with my own life and my own upbringing, that's my only answer. Nobody but God. There's been plenty of times that, I've even wondered how I kept going when I felt like I didn't have strength to make it through certain things. Nobody else was there to account those things with me or to witness them other than my kids or the person that did the damage towards me.
Right.
And God. There's instances and times where we always say that voice or your conscience or that was God talking to me. Those dreams I've had, that was God. That's what I'm saying. It's for me, science can't explain it.
I get you. I definitely understand
They
that.
can't. They
Yeah.
can't.
Ron,
There's
what do you
something within
feel?
my spirit that connects, with it. When I hear the word of God, when I
Mm-hmm.
sense it in my spirit, when I certain instances in connections with other people, certain things that happen that just like you was just right there at the right place at the right time. I'm like, man, that ain't
Confidence.
chance,
Yeah.
that ain't luck, that ain't I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it's no other way.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that
It's my own walk
100%. Right.
when
Mm.
how I change and how I see my heart change within too. Because I could turn into this other
Woo.
person or this other thing or this other monster because I think we have both within us. But which
Mm-hmm.
one we choose to feed and nourish is the one that grows the most.
Right. Okay.
Deep,
Thanks,
deep,
Mark.
deep.
What about you, Ron?
Well, mine for me is um, things that I used to do, my other life, things that I used to do, and I sit back and I had friends do the same thing I was out there doing, but things happen to them. Some of them passed away or whatever, and I look at my life and say, "Oh, it ain't nothing but God, God Almighty, my Jehovah, my Jireh. He has kept me here. I'd have been in a coma for 5 days. I've done this, done that, and I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm here to tell y'all what's going on with me. I'm here to tell everybody what's going on with me. But my friends and my family members is not here.
Mm-hmm.
He got me here. You know what I'm saying? So nobody but God has felt me. Been in my life. Oh yeah, He's been good to me when I have not been really good to Him, and that's what gets me going every day, every day. So
Okay.
you know,
What about you,
I'm blessed. I
Bernard?
feel like I'm
Oh,
blessed, and I praise Him. I give Him all the praises.
I know that's right. What about you, Bernard?
Um, I think the whole human experience is a process, and I think my walk spiritually, has come in like full circle. I was a lot of people don't maybe not know that I was raised in the church. I've come from different both sides of my family have been ministers on my father's side as well as my mother's side. So we have that religious, spiritual connection. But when I became a man myself, I chose to look at the whole picture, not just my piece of the pie, but other pieces of pie. I looked at a lot of other different religions and a lot of different spirituality stuff, type of stuff, and I chose to pick at these later years a more of an African centric type of spirituality based on Kemetic laws and universal law as also spirituality, where you will find a lot of the Kemetic uh, laws or philosophies, or even woven in a lot of other religions, and you can see it. So my thing is that when you are spiritual, you study not just yourself, but you study life, and you're more close to nature. You're not nature, and you are not separate entity, but we are one. We need the fish, we need the birds, we need the foxes, the
Mm-hmm.
wolves. We need all that to have the ecosystem to work perfectly. And when we are out of sorts, or we feel that we are better than the ecosystem, then I think we're losing our spiritual connection to this earth and to mankind and to nature, because we all live in nature. No one lives outside this planet, and there are certain laws that even that you do, even if no matter what spirituality or what religion, if you do certain principles, then things will work well for you. And I've seen miracles done in all kinds of different religions, from voodoo to Sri Krista, Hindu,
Mm.
all those religions with their spiritual beliefs have miracles. So I think your spirituality is a unique walk that only you can walk it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't try to get people to think like me, but I think that there is room enough for a lot of variety in your spirituality. And what you have to do is find the one that resonates with you. I have to find the one that resonates with me and gives me the best experience for me and my legacy.
No, that's
Okay.
right. All right, thanks, Bernard. I know, Mike, you posed a question, and I want you to go because then I'm going to wrap so we can wrap up the show.
You said you just trying to buy time while you think of what yours is. That's all.
You right in a way, but I kind of know what I was
Nah,
going to say, but yeah.
but I'm kind of like along the same lines as Bernard. Like for me, life experiences, my past and current experiences, and growth and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Education and understanding of said education and experiences. So, my daddy was a preacher. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people tell me, man, you gonna be a preacher. You got the voice, you got the whatever to, you know. But I had a lot of I was ahead of my time as a child, so I asked a lot of questions. And this is not to try and shake anybody's faith, but I used to ask this question, like, you say that we supposed to go out here. I had this conversation with my pops. You say we supposed to go out here and have these and bring people in and try to, hey, get them to come to the church so they can hear the word and get the true understanding in order to be saved. Do what's necessary in order to be saved. But I had a conversation with my pops, and I was like, well, hey, I had a conversation with this atheist guy, and he had a lot of questions, and I held my own, but he got to a point where he was saying some shit that made sense to me, and I felt confused because I was like, well, this ain't supposed to make sense because he's an atheist. And he was like, what you doing talking to an atheist anyway? Well, if it's my job to try to get this man to come to our church and hear the word, then how else I'm gonna do it if I don't talk to him?
Right.
And so one of those things that stumped me was when you look at like Bernard was saying, when you look at the various religions of the world, they all are similar, right? They all are similar. So I look at it, I say, well, if you count them all, you got about 12, probably more, but maybe about a hardcore 12 different religions. And you had 12 disciples. And their job was to go out and spread the message, but around the world. Thus, you have a language barrier. But then they were gifted to be able to either speak in tongues or however they spoke, the other people would understand what the message was. So if you had 12 different people go out across the world to spread the same message, if we all read a book, we all gonna get a different interpretation of what we read. So if 12 different people go out and spread a message, there's going to be 12 interpretations, and people are going to, like Bernard said, take what's good to them or what means the most to them and make that or publicize that as the rules of life. And that's how people operate. Well, a lot of my questions got thrown or dismissed, or no, you don't question God. Well, do I question them because that's what I'm not supposed to, or you just don't know the answer, and that's the best thing you can tell me is I'm not supposed to question God because you ain't got the answer. See what I'm saying? So then I kind of got confused for a little bit, but I decided to kind of journey and then start doing my own research and my own studying and all, or whatever the case may be. But I just found out that taking life experiences, applying, logic and concepts, and then what did it do for me? How did I grow from those experiences? And like I said, education and then growth and understanding. Understanding that sometimes so I may not get all the answers that I need, but what makes me my best me? How can I benefit or prosper from that? And y'all always hear me say it. If you want to know about human beings, study the animal kingdom. Right? The animals do a lot of shit that makes sense that humans overcomplicate. You know what I mean? And I just kind of feel like we supposed to be this we reign supreme over all living things as the human beings, but we learn a lot from everything around us. So how can we be so superior? So what makes me my best me is that life experiences, growth, education, and understanding, or the willingness to want to understand. Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell for me.
I want to say, Bernard just jumped off, so thanks, Bernard, for joining in, for my little birthday party here, and thanks for all your comments and being part of the forum. As we get ready to wrap here, I'll give my view. I was trying to decide how I wanted to say this, but I'll just say it. In my travels and my learning over the years, when I used to be a part of religion, I never understood why it didn't resonate. It never resonated with me. It felt like I felt a distance. I felt a chore. It never was comfortable to me when I was in that whole realm of things. And it was a relief when I recognized that that is not the way that I had to have a relationship with God. And I had to realize my own spirituality. I could step away from that because I just kind of consistently felt a manipulation that was going on. And I couldn't put my finger on it because that awakeness and awareness that was coming, I didn't understand it. It took a while for me to understand that whole thing. And now that I have awakened to a lot of things in the world and still learning stuff every day. Like I learned some stuff today. I was like, dang, and it feels like I still have so much to learn. But that the biggest thing is I learned that my relationship with God was my own relationship, that I did not have to follow this person or people standing in a pulpit, the things that they told us to do, the life that they said we should live. I just learned that all of that was just their choice, and I didn't have to have it in order to have my relationship. And then when I started encountering things that, I know Veronica has mentioned what she has survived before. And that's why, now, when I look at having heart failure, I have to tell myself, I was on the other side first. I said, you survived the brain tumor. Will you be able to survive a second thing? And I said, hey, yeah, because you have God who brought you through that. And that's where I said to you earlier, I read the thing about God gives his biggest battles to strongest soldiers. For whatever reason, there's something that I'm having to go through this. I don't totally understand it, but in this walk, I will learn. It's something that is in this that I'm learning, even learning about me. So I think the shaping of my life has come over time when I realized that I am an individual and I don't have to be a part of a herd of sheep. I can think how I need to think, but just be obedient to God. I don't have to have a herd mentality in order to serve God, And for those who do, that's just you. I mean, however you want to do it, that's how are some people they have to have the whole nine, the service and everything. And I have to say, I more power to you. I love you. I mean, truly. But just for me, I just chose to do it a different way, and I've been so much happier since. Just been happier, much happier.
Yeah, and I'm like for me, I was raised with my granny, Southern Baptist, and then I went and stayed with my daddy, and then it became, Church of Christ, non-denominational, right? And so I have a root because I know that there's something. I know there's a supreme deity. I know there's something out there greater than than myself, or you know, something out there. There's a presence. I don't know what it is, you know, male, female, you know what I mean? What it is,
All this other stuff,
you know,
everybody, yeah.
it might actually be a tree, you know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? But I know there's a, you know, a supreme deity, a supreme being, something out there that's greater than myself. You know, we say God. What if it's the universe, or what if God and universe are the same thing? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know, but I do believe, right, in something greater than myself. And with that, you know, when they say the golden rule is to do unto others, you want others to do unto you. You know, that's why my spirit is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't naturally hate nobody. I don't naturally like dislike nobody, but it's what you do to me that makes me respond to you. For every action, there's a reaction. So, and I don't have to hate you for it. Hate is a strong word. If you want to know if I hate somebody, if you ever hear me say I wouldn't feed that motherfucker, then you know whoever that is crossed me royally and fucked up.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm a foodie, and
Yeah, hate is a lot of energy.
you know what I'm saying? But
And I've had people say, "Oh, I did do this dirt to you, but you're gonna fix me some food. What you put in here?" I'm like, man, I'm not
eating it.
I say, I'm not finna play with my food. I don't like to waste it. I'm not.
just saying.
No. I might not like you or hate you or whatever you think, but I'm not gonna play with my food.
If you hear me say, man, fuck him, I wouldn't even feed that son bitch. I hate that son bitch. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't operate like that, because you know what I mean. Like they say, you don't burn your bridges, because you never know who might be in a position to either help you or save your fucking life.
Yeah, you know where you got to cross back across that bridge.
Right. You know what I mean? So, I'm deeply rooted where I stand, but I mean, we would, if the forbidden fruit was of the tree of knowledge, and we were not supposed to eat of that, and we were never supposed to have knowledge, then it's only right that knowledge be our downfall in the end, because we are supposed to know the truth, the real from the fake, right? So we would be a damn fool not to take advantage of the ability of having knowledge and not doing what we're supposed to do with it. So growth and understanding. That's why I say growth and understanding, because as we experience, as we read, as we learn, as we do whatever, we're supposed to take that information, our experiences, and do something beyond yourself. Because remember, the whole thing about spirituality or whatever is sacrifice. You know what I mean? So you are sacrificing when you divert from, I think what we were saying earlier, trying to be selfish instead of helping others. Like to say, lend out a helping hand, help up your brother, man. Put a little love in your heart, right? You know what I'm saying? And the world will be a better place. You know what I mean? So for you and me, for you. Okay, anyway. But I mean, that's how I feel, and people are like, man, you silly. Why are you so happy? Why you got all this energy?
You know what?
I had so much.
That right there, I have not been asked that myself, but somebody asked my son that. And I told my son, for them to ask you that person has been through a lot. And they don't feel that they have any other reason, therefore, to be nice towards somebody or to smile. And they're operating from a hurt and broken place. I said, hopefully something in you can shine a light on them so that they can see where they need repair or restoration in their spirit. Because that's odd. If you're naturally this way, why would you do something or say something to disturb that from another person?
I just feel like I had been through a lot, right, in my little life. I'm gonna pass it back to you, but I feel like I've been through a hellacious lot, right? I don't even know if that's a word, but I feel like I've been through a lot. And you know how they say you can let a situation define you, or you can define the situation.
Yeah.
And I've been coping and dealing and adjusting and just fighting to define the situation and not let the situation define me. So I feel like, man, fuck that. What you been through? You went through that? not to shift focus to me, but I'd be like, I've been through so much, man. I don't know what you're going through, but I probably got some advice, some hints, some tips or something, or suggestions or whatever to try and help you. I might not can help you, but to try to help you. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But goddamn it, you can't say you didn't try or you didn't have information that can help you try.
Right.
And then, man, let's get it. You know, man, it's too much. It's too much. With everybody focusing on the bad, it's too much good out there. There's good out there. It's too much good, but everybody focuses on bad.
But we don't see that much of that good anymore, and so it's that much more hard work that needs to put that in to keep that in you, to put that back in you, in you.
Well, I'm giving good vibes to the world, and if you don't like it, you're gonna get it anyway. God damn it. Anyway, I'm done.
Well, you know, as far as saying at the beginning of the show, not the show, but at living room discussion, when I was talking about the world and my understanding that October is going to be the month of the financial changes across the world. We're going to see a lot of things. They say a depression is coming worse than anything that we've seen, and we're expecting a near-death wide world near-death experience. Don't know what that is. Nobody knows what it is, but these are some of the things that's being put out there. Only thing I can say to you all is there is an awakening of information that's going to be shared soon, but there's going to be some hard times in there too. And it's going to be the time when you have to really dig deep into yourself and figure out who you are and the realities that you can live with. Because a lot of information that's going to be shared with you is probably going to be some things that shake you to the core, because it's going to be a lot of information that you've been raised with. I mean, you have been shaped into the adult that you are today with a lot of information of how this world is set up. And what you're going to find out is 90 to 95% of it was lies. That's going to shake you to the core.
Yeah. I just look at it, the stuff that we currently just went through, I had to make peace with it. Because it was no need to sit there. Like, you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't, you know what I mean? It just really couldn't fully wrap your mind around everything that was going on in the world within them 2 years. Right. So I had to finally make peace with it. And I can't, I tried to a certain extent, you know, like you look at it as a parent, you're trying to protect your kids or you're trying to protect your loved ones. But you can only go so far, because if you give them that information and they take it and do those precautionary things to protect them, their own self, then you're not going to do anything, just waste your energy. So definitely had to be still, get in my own quiet place and talk to God, myself, and make peace with it, because otherwise I would have drove myself crazy. So I definitely took time to impart good within myself. Whether it's reading, doing those things that make me smile, that make me laugh, that make me happy, breaking down and dancing in the kitchen, doing some crazy, funky looking dance just to be silly for a moment, to give my mind, my mental that breakaway from, you know, the heaviness. Definitely took time writing, took time getting fresh air and sunlight, because you do need that sunlight. You know, that does wonders. And just, you know, all those things that are good, you're supposed to think upon these things. So, in the midst of that, and in the midst of even speaking to others, whether it's just a quick hello or smile or this, that, and the other, all that helps out too, you know. And then, like Mike, like you said, sharing what you know or what you've been through with someone else. Your ministry is your walk in life. You don't have to be in the pulpit. You can be on a street corner. You can be just at a gas station pumping your gas, and you're ministering to somebody anytime you open up and you speak. or if you have a small slight conversation while you're waiting in a line to check out at HEB or somewhere, that's ministry. So
I noticed that I get random little bits, nuggets throughout different points and stages in my life,
and
and and I get them when I'm in a point of being receptive. It's a lot of shit that somebody would like something I heard today. If I'd have heard it 10 years ago, I would have straight ignored it. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So how else do you explain that? Like, when they say everything happened for a reason,
Oh yeah, that's
people come
when
into your life for reasons and seasons.
yeah.
And I heard y'all talk about it earlier, and what I was gonna say was an obstacle will keep representing itself until you learn how to conquer it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the concept of, remember, I've told you this before. I don't know if y'all remember this about your soul returning. If you don't complete your task and learn your lessons, that was the trap that they put us in, that your vessel would die. Then your soul returns in another vessel. They zap you so you don't remember stuff from your previous, vessels, bodies, lives. That's the entrapment that we were put in for centuries. So it still applies on a larger level as well. Just most people don't know that side of things, or they don't want to think about that side of things, which reminds me of another conversation that we were saying earlier, Mike, and I do want to start to wrap, but we were talking yesterday about how many people are comfortable, or either they're too or could be a form of the PTSD or whatever. They don't want to learn anymore. They don't want to think any deeper. They don't want to do anything that shakes their reality, because they already feel like their reality is being shaken so much by what has happened with what was the pandemic. And the thing is, what they don't understand, the pandemic was the thing that they saw above the ground, even though they don't understand. Still, a lot of them may not understand why it was the thing that they saw in their face, when there's been things going on for centuries behind the scenes that has manipulated people and made them do this, that, and the third. And now we're about to see some things that are changing. The reason why I'm having this conversation with you all too is, if October is one of the months that's slated to see a lot of changes, we already see currencies and different things happen around the world that are already revaluing. Before we even meet again, we might be faced with some big changes. We might be faced with changes. I don't know if you've heard this, Michael, but I've heard it several times. Their military has been moving and grouping in different parts of the world, and people don't understand what's going on. Only thing they're saying is something about to happen. And what's the reason why they moving and assembling is a reason why they're assembling. We already know there's about 17 cities in the United States right here that they got their eye on for some information that they're going to bring out. And they got their eye on these cities as the cities where they will have probably a martial law. So, there's a lot of things that are coming that will shake some realities. And I just say, people, stay grounded in God and your spirituality, whatever you pray to. Just stay grounded in that.
That is your core. That is your assurance. I don't want to say insurance, but assurance about some other stuff.
Right. But it's coming.
Yeah. That's the only one that's been holding me down. It's not. I'm not looking at it in a religious aspect, because that's not my connection and my closeness to God, the Holy Trinity. It's the spiritual aspect, and it's not just on feeling, but it's on facts and stuff. What is true to me within my spirit, especially when I hear it, when I see it, when I experience it. There's too many things that just done happen to my life and I'm just like, whoa, you know.
Right. I
And
get
there's
it.
things that cannot be ignored. So, like, hey, yeah, I will speak up. I will say what I need to say. I will sit down and be quiet and listen. And, sometimes I might take a minute before I present something to the group,
Right.
just to have y'all think, and ponder upon
Yeah.
on some things. It's been some things I've been wanting to say, but I was like, no, it'll be time for it a little bit later. Like, it would
I
better
don't
take.
know why not. If I say anything over here, I sound like a
It's like,
radical.
I'll wait for the after show.
But
I like
the thing is, I sound like a radical here, but I am nowhere near as radical uh, as if you heard the people who I learned a lot from. It probably scare scare some folks, but I just believe that things are right before our eyes, and folks just refuse to see it. They like being safe in the cocoon. Cocoon was a movie, y'all.
no.
Come on. There's some animals out there that sleep in a cocoon, but you got to
It's
come
not
out
us.
of it.
Yeah, but no, I remember that.
Yeah. But it's time for us to wrap it on up and get on out so that we can say our so longs in a few minutes. So I'm going to take a we're going to wrap it. We're going to
Yeah.
take a quick break and come on back in just a few moments. All right, y'all. So hang tight. Let's see if I can get there. It is. Hang tight, y'all. And one more time for the Tandy brand that hit 30 years in September this month. So 30 years is the brand. And we'll do the celebrating. We celebrated from the beginning. I mean, we used to have these big parties in Texas for it, but we'll get back to the celebration. But we just got to cross the bridge on some other things that's going down. It's going down. But you all, I'm glad that you all joined me tonight. We hadn't done a show in a while, and I see that we might need to pick it up sometime and do more. I don't know what October is going to bring for us. It's all the stuff that I was talking about earlier, but I will work with you all to see when you all want to come in here, because we got to get our audience rejuvenated back again. And sometimes the best way to do that is not to go too far away. Even if you do something shorter, just don't go too far. So this week coming up, we're gonna start off with Mike. Mike, what you got coming up?
Shit, work, school, classes, all kind of shit. I got like I said, master starting next week. I'm doing cybersecurity class, a CDL class, work.
A class for class.
You know what I'm saying? So there's like 3 classes / courses, and then work, and then shit, trying to stay sane. Trying to stay sane in a world full of lames, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah, nah,
Gotcha.
but nah, man, I just like I said, man, I really just be chilling. You know, I guess I'm in sponge mode right now with the new job, and then just taking shit a lot more serious. You know what I mean? I took that time off, that hiatus after retirement, to kind of, I guess, transform, transition, release, relax, recover. And shit, I guess it's time for me to be a 42-year-old man now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm still me. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
It's just, I guess I'm entering into a new season, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Of manhood. So that's kind of where I'm at, really. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting your man
More
on.
responsibility.
Yeah, you know, so I got goals, man. I got goals and some stuff I want to accomplish. You know, I'm gonna tell you now, when you filling out them damn HR forms, they telling you about life insurance and shit, you start thinking about shit, life insurance. What the fuck is, for what? I'm supposed to start thinking about my death? No, fuck, I still have to.
At my age, that's really big.
You know what I'm saying?
That the black families need to start thinking about and having.
You know what I'm
But,
saying?
That's something
I'm
good.
in the
That's something
age
good to
bracket
think
where that
about.
comes up a
Because
lot.
Insurance, health insurance.
I'm sitting here trying to learn about a flex spending account for medical purposes. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, But see, the military took care of all that, so I never had to worry about it. So for me, like I'm like I said,
I know about all of that.
But see, I joined right out of high school, and in the military took care of all that shit for me. So it's a lot of things that I'm coming out back into the civilian world. I've been gone damn near 23 years. And then I come out and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never had to deal with that. And then now I got to learn about all this shit.
Yeah,
you know
money for health coverage stuff. It's no taxes or nothing like on there. You put it in there, but some of them, if you don't use it, you lose it. You gotta
that shit.
And
see, it's just too. Is it my money or not? And then
it's yours, but
you don't use it within a year, you lose it. Bitch, I'm paying you. Oh, what the fuck you mean? So if I don't use it in a year, you keep it.
Child care, you can use it for like different health products. It just depends. And then too, some of it is like how much you spend in your medical bills, how much you spend in your medical bills, like your deductible or whatever, and then they take that and they use it for something.
But see, that's the thing. Be honest with you, a lot of that shit I don't need because I did 23 years and I'm 100% disability, and I get all my shit from the VA and then whatever insurance they carried over from the military.
Well, if that's an automatic thing they do, or if that's an option just for you to choose, I mean, I don't know how your job.
But I get it just in case, though. You know what I'm saying? I got a son that's out there. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I mean? So I know for me, it don't seem if they wouldn't be offering it for nothing. I know it's a way for them to make money, but I mean at the same time they wouldn't consider it a benefit if it wasn't in some way, form, or fashion beneficial. So I'm like, I probably should. And when they tell me they'll charge me only $9 for it, I'm like, oh, it's only $9.
It's important. I can tell you.
So
because I got supplemental insurance through my job, and it's not much. Even to add my kids on my dental and my vision, it's like $2-3, and that's for 2 boys on my. You got to just read over all the paperwork in detail. Trust me.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying that's the kind of shit that you start thinking about. Shit, you like, damn man, I know all this shit, but I don't know this.
Well, like you said, that's a part of your grown man thing,
Yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm sorry I took the mic too long. I'm sorry, but
oh no, I was just thinking that I have not done the show in a while, and normally if I'm sitting watching TV, I can fall off into a quick cat nap that may only last 10 minutes, and I wake up, and then I just started realizing I thought I was gonna fall off in the cat nap at times tonight.
Well, I mean,
like, you can't do that.
Right there.
You do got a birthday coming up, so that is a sign of
whatever.
Oh, are you trying to call it old? No,
I didn't try to say shit.
I am seasoned.
Seasoned.
Oh, okay.
Took some Tony Sashery on me.
See.
Well, when they they let food ferment for a long time, so
so your expand in your sheepskin.
What is it, like you said?
Cabbage.
Kimchi. That's what it is.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's okay.
Wrong, brother. You're wrong.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you fall asleep on this camera. Oh, your ass is grass. I'm telling you that now.
I'm telling you, I did a yard just now. I was like, Tanya, wait a minute now. But I've been used to being able to sit up and I actually do that. I will be watching a show. I will stop that show if I'm tired and I'm not seeing everything. I will cat nap for 10 to 15 minutes and then come back to the show. And so it's things that, maybe I just need that little nap. I'm getting older. Well, you know what? My doctor's office, they did tell me that it's part of my condition too. They said take different rest. So that's what we're gonna say. It ain't my age. It's the condition.
Right.
Yeah.
You one of them people that you be falling asleep, motherfucker grab the remote.
There
You
go
want
that
to
piece
I'm
right
watching that. Wake up, what you doing? I'm watching that. Put that goddamn door down.
Because I can still hear.
There
I
go
can still hear my show going.
see, listen to Tanya tell that. That's a pet peeve. See,
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes,
And
buddy.
wouldn't
the
sleep.
sad
I was
part is,
resting my
motherfucker,
eyes.
hey, people be ready to fight over that remote because, like, you know damn well you sleep. You finna sit here and act like you watching TV.
We'll wake right up. We'll wake all the hell up.
I only know about that because that's what I do.
I figured as such.
Yeah.
All right, Margo, what you got coming up this week?
Whew, I don't know. I'm finna start getting into something. October. I said, here I come, baby.
One time for the birthday girl.
This
Both of
my
y'all birthday in
month.
October.
I
Yep.
plan on celebrating each and every single mother.
Your birthday is on
in
the 16th.
October.
You only get to
Yes.
celebrate the 16th, so sit your ass down.
No. The older you get, the whole month. It take that
That's
long.
right.
Yeah, it take that long to really get into it. And
Because
so
I know I'm not doing that much this weekend, so you're right. We
Yeah.
need to take the whole month.
yeah, I'm hearing, ACL.
ACL.
It's a foodie fest. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Sunday. There's a foodie fest. There's a coffee thing going on tomorrow morning. There's all kind of stuff going on through Austin. On the 9th, though, which I got to check into these tickets tomorrow. I'm going to go see a comedy show of this couple that hosts podcasts. And Then We Had Sex. They're really hilarious. They be talking about.
That did not come out right when you said you was going to go see an old couple and then you transitioned to and then we had sex.
No, not like that.
It did sound like that.
I like it. That's what they're called. That's what they call their show, their comedy show, as well as their podcast. So if you don't know them, check them out.
She just sat here and gave us a whole lecture on religion, and she finna go out here and join the three.
No, that is that I can hear that. I'm not participating. I'm just hearing. It's research. It's just research. But
that's what we call it, research. Hey, I'm going out here to do some research. I like that. I'm finna go do some research.
I'm not participating. I'm just hearing.
I'll get back to you with my conclusion from my hypothesis.
But besides that, I'm looking at it for like. At first, I was trying to come up with something catchy to do. It's like 16 days of 16 days of love, or 16 acts of love towards my own self, like little tidbits of things that do make me me or make me happy, to reconnect with that. And you spend a lot of time giving so much of yourself, especially in the job that I do. So it's like, how do I reset or recharge myself? How do I continue to input good within me to keep that flowing, and not to, get to a point to where I don't feel like myself, or I keep pumping my brakes because I'm getting burnt out. So I'm looking at it that way, like 16 days of love, but really I'm going to take the whole month. And on top of doing that, I was also trying to make it purposeful for where I'm doing something else to like cleanse or remove certain things from my life. Not necessarily that they're not serving me, but things that I know that I've been needing to work on or change in order to be better, in order to open up that flow.
Enema. You said you cleansed.
Not that type of cleansing. I'm not.
I'm so
not that. Don't nobody want to hear that type of cleansing. That's a whole nother.
You need to open up that flow. So obviously you constipated. You need
no,
Metamucil.
But just doing it different. I've been realizing that a lot of my life has been on some instances put on pause. A lot of me has been given some years before and doing some
Right.
and some
Why you got me laughing? Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
No, you good. But
Mike done lost his
that's
mind.
that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to get back
Okay.
to some not just being selfish and nothing like that, but this time is some time I do need for myself. I need to celebrate me. Who else really is better than yourself? So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Cleansing,
thank you,
cleansing
Margo.
is good.
The
Cleansing is
celebration
very
starts
good.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
The October
Oh no,
baby
that's what I
celebration.
yeah, somebody already called me and asked me, "Can you take me somewhere?" I said, "Look, you gonna mess up my October vibes. You know it's my
That's
birthday,
right.
so like,
The
look,
October baby celebration
we
starts.
gonna have to cut
Oh
whatever."
no, Margo, it has started. It's 1:01 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay,
So it
it
has started.
okay. I'm gonna get started, but yeah, that's all I plan.
I
I'm gonna
know
take
that's
myself
right.
out in the morning and go to a spot and get some coffee and some baked
All
goods.
right. Well, cool. All right. Thanks for being here. And Ron, what you got coming up?
Oh man,
My arms are hurting.
I got a whole lot going on. I got some. I'm going. Well, I'm gonna be celebrating with y'all
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because I mean my birthday's in December, but I have a couple of birthdays that I help celebrate in October.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few. I have Tanya. I got my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Our birthday's on the
My
same day.
cousin slash my niece. Like I said, may she rest in peace. Her birthday was on October 2nd. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
my new friend, his birthday's on the 19th,
Okay.
but he don't celebrate birthdays.
You gonna celebrate this year?
He started. Yeah, you knew he gonna start up.
We're we're going to the state fair here in North Carolina. They got the Raleigh State Fair, and we're gonna spend about 4 days together.
Told you.
The
Told you
25th
gonna
on
celebrate
the
this year.
21st. That's on a Friday, right? I won't be on the show. When y'all have the show, I will not be there. That's gonna be my one day I take a break from y'all. So I love
All
y'all,
right.
but
Make
okay.
sure
He
your
said,
phone
"Look,
is not nowhere close to the bed, so you don't accidentally dial us in your
Your endeavors.
while you in your.
well,
look at
like
that
people,
chat.
when people butt dial you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that chat.
If y'all shacked up somewhere, we damn sure don't want you to butt dial us then. Okay,
No.
that's personal. You keep that
Your
private.
truth or his.
You keep your
Michael
private life private, baby.
Yeah.
Michael
I
Hurt.
know that's right. Oh man. Well, that's good, Ron. What you got going?
I just gonna take it easy.
All right.
That's about it.
Gonna
Like
take it easy, do some research, huh?
no, I don't need to do no research. I just need to wait on my phone call every night. That's all.
I'm
All
sorry.
right, y'all. Well, thanks for being here.
What about you?
I gotta go for this wrap because the lights they turned me out tonight, you know. But I have decided that I'm going to follow Margot and do the celebration the whole month because I'm not doing a lot this weekend, so I might as well take the whole damn month. But I am really just curious. A lot of changes that are coming. I'm preparing for all of that. You know, there's a lot of things that staying in preparation for, staying excited for, and continuing to see improvements to my body and my plans, you know. So that's pretty much how this week is even going to start off because I'm watching some things like a hawk. It's just unfortunate that I can't really talk about some things like this moment, but maybe one day. But I'm just trying to stay good, stay out of trouble, stay healthy,
All right.
stay happy,
All
and
right.
stay here on this earth with y'all.
I
Yeah.
got this thing, man, called R3 or R cubed, 3 cubed, the small 3.
Right.
But it's relax, reset, and recharge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I got
Or
one more.
But re-engage. And after you're done with all that, re-engage. How about that? R4.
And also watch reruns of the monkeys. That's how they do all the time.
Hold on. Wait.
And then, and those babies, they be so cute, but at the same time, be like, see, if your ass won't doing all that, mama
they
wouldn't
do
beat you in the face. Huh?
What they do?
Tanya, don't walk into that.
What they do again?
You know what he finna try to do.
I know.
What they do again? I missed it.
Because you
My screen froze.
Pulling their hair back, right? Mama pulls their hair, and they be like, and they go, oh, did you get to the side? They go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they look like they, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm sorry for one or two of them. They be doing. They like, Mama, why don't you love me? I feel sorry for those. They don't understand. But the other ones, man, I'd be like, you should have got your ass because I told you, you too big to be riding on Mama back with your big ass. Get over there and sit down.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what these noises are. Oh, you
My
talking
new
about
show, y'all. The monkey.
And they be doing what?
It's breaking up.
That's what I'm saying. So I be missing it. You be doing it, but I be missing it because you freezing on both of it. One to play, then the other one to freeze. So I'm trying to figure out what you be doing, what they be doing. I missed it.
Oh, I know what's happening. Wait, some reason my audio is going slow on this system right here. So what did you say this other one?
I'm trying to figure out what the monkeys be doing because every time you did it out, it was freezing up.
Yeah.
See, he's messing up now.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't see it? Okay.
No.
So I'm freezing on both. Yeah, that's why we got to get rid of it. But one more time for the road. This is what they be doing. Their mama be pulling their hair. And that's it is cute but funny at the same time. You feel bad at the same time. Y'all, let me do my social media so we get out of this show. Here we go. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon.
Uh-oh, that was quick.
Okay, wait a minute, y'all. I'm gonna do that again because I hit it again because my situation is freezing over here, and we're gonna do it one more time, and then we're gonna get out of this show before I start freezing up.
Yeah, I think your volume was.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media. Okay, I'm back. I think I might have turned off that microphone by mistake. So can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to get ready to get out of here. I ain't doing no more monkeys. So y'all can see that.
It's all recorded.
Yeah, because y'all heard the last time I did it? Because you hear the last time I did it, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he heard it. He heard it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I give you one more on the way out now. I don't mind. I give you one more on the way out the door.
He heard it. Trust me.
Okay. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for
what happened to the one more out the door?
Okay.
Oh.
Woo, woo, woo. Ooh. That's what okay.
There you go.
Mm-mm.
Bam. There you go. There you go. There you go. It is.
Oh man, they be having me. I see. I'm gonna put one of the videos in the chat sometime this weekend so y'all can see it for yourself. So, but anyhow, I'm glad y'all were here, and then I can share my stories and share my birthday with y'all, and just enjoy the time with y'all.
Yeah.
I think I might
That's
have
gonna be
messed
the
up.
new thing now. Everybody just gonna randomly be like, whoo, whoo, whoo.
Because they look like they say, whoo, whoo, whoo. I didn't look. But the screaming, I had to just show it to you. I can't give it justice until you see it. It's a
You
hot
better
mess.
wake Poppy up.
He, as much as he see me here listening to this, he be like, you should go look at them damn videos. Oh man. But y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate it, And we'll see how soon we get back in. And let's pray. Let's pray for not only ourselves and our families, let's pray for the world that we get through this month of October, and that we come out even better than before on the other side. October into November. I'm having big prayers, and that people, whenever everything starts coming out, that they'll be able to accept a lot of stuff and grow from it, and let's discuss. So if there's an opportunity when things go dark or black, if it does happen, then we can still get together and talk. Let's do that. Let's just still, because we don't know what's going to happen or when, but if it does, whenever it does, let's still get together and talk. Let's keep that lines of communication open and talk about this stuff. But I appreciate y'all being here. Let's see if I can remember this. So I like to say in parting, good things come to those who believe, better things come to those who are patient, but the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon. This is the living room team. Yeah, I actually said that, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful week. And we'll see you next time. Or Art Imitates Life. Y'all wave for bye. See, there he is. There he is. See?
You is time.
I'm gonna send y'all that. I mean, for real. I'm gonna
It's already there.
y'all got to see
You
it.
just don't know it's already there.
Okay,
You just
y'all.
don't know it's already there.
Y'all see y'all next time. Enjoyed it.